We're going to get right into it. Let's cut this music down. Other folks have been complaining. See, your intros are too long. So we're going to knock it off and we're going to have another laid-back conversation like we did last night. It seemed as though everyone enjoyed themselves. So I'm glad for that. Just let me know how the sound is. I want to welcome everybody in. Sunkissed, as always, your first, the early bird, Tammy Ivy. How are you doing? You know, we're going to keep this kind of format where we have just a laid-back type conversation. Excuse my wrinkles in my shirt. I'm trying to get it on, but it's so humid out here in this beautiful, hot African country of Accra, Ghana in Accra. And it keeps you healthy. It keeps you moving along. Now, in case there's a power outage or the camera blinks out because it overheated yesterday, and it basically, well, keep me on long enough, I get hot too. I will put the banner on and continue on with the audio, and if the whole stream cuts out, I will be back on through the phone. That does happen sometime. A little blink in the power outage. I just want to know how everybody's doing, and let's early on get a roll call. I was going to say a road check. Let's get a roll call. And if my rag looks funny, it's because it's a green rag, and with my green screen behind me, anything green is invisible, and something can be put over that. So that's how it looks invisible in my hand, because it is green, right? So I'm not into any hocus pocus. Simply Deep, I'm doing really good. Tammy Ivy, Midnight Green, yes. Empress G will be here soon, I think. She will be. Maybe she's listening. And you know, there were some topics that were suggested to me, but there was something that was sent to me, and it was really strange, but it was first, and I'm going to play it because I had a difficulty downloading the video so I can play it, and I still will eventually if I can get it and snatch it. I didn't have enough time. There was a couple of little steps extra that I had to do. But basically in this video, which the title is going to cover a few things I'm going to touch on, right? But this is the first thing I wanted to put out there. I'm sorry, but I will drop the link for the actual video on that page. Matter of fact, oh, there it is now. Hold on. All right, I'll play that. But the audio is a little blurry, like it was in an open room, so there's a little echo. But basically, it's a white man. I don't know if the other person's a white woman. You know, when they get old, they start looking alike. Like, is that a man? You see these old white women, like, is that a man? You know? But they look dried out. They look really bad, you know. Well, right now we're going to focus on the title of the show, Simply Deep 1985. Just hold that. I'll remind you, or when I kind of like cover everything, because I might put a good hour in. Yesterday we put 2 hours and change, but if y'all can keep me on, you know I like to talk. The other night, 2 nights ago, I didn't get much sleep. It's still hitting me now. And I only did one thing today, which is this before the strike, the stroke of midnight for me, which right now it's 11:49. And Priscilla G, Oyala, King Z. Yes, I will address everything. And like I said, I'm going to get right to the point. But you know me, if you can convince me to keep talking, I'll stay on probably for 3 or 4 hours, because that's my mouth supersedes my need to sleep. But it was a video that, again, I'm going to drop the link, but it was 2 Caucasians and about 3 other black women, but there was a black woman sitting next to the white man who was talking. Now, when you see this, you see a white man on the left. They're sitting around the table. So white man on the left, he looked dried out. He looked, I'm not just going to say old, he looked worn out. They have a shorter shelf life. They're like American-made vehicles, right? And when you look at the Japanese vehicles, 400,000 miles is going strong, 100,000 miles, the American-made vehicles, even though they have lots of foreign parts in it now, and it's not really any one country, that makes that vehicle like it used to be. It's a global thing now, but still those things hold true. This man was dried out. He didn't look like he was of this world. And I'm going to talk about that also. Well, he's on the left side. There's another black woman next to him, but she seemed to be like someone in favor of him. Like she was in the pimp talk, the bottom bitch. I don't mean to call any black woman a bitch. I'm just stating a term. If you don't know what that means, I'd have an article. Are you his wife or are you his bottom bitch? And I had to say the word because that's a real term and I had to break it down. But I'm saying that if you don't understand it, I will break it down. Not as good as the article. Maybe I'll find the article and drop it down in there. Some think that's the best article I ever wrote. Some think it's misogynistic or whatever. I don't come that way. If I explain things a certain way, sometimes people, by the way they receive it and the filters that they have over their mind, they will flavor my words with their insecurities and their hangups, and it's not the case. This is why I always have to say when I speak about any one faction of us, I'll say not all, but some. I have to say it that way because that's the way it is with me by default anyway, right? But some just refuse to get it. You said this about this person, and it's not all of us. I'm like, okay, I know it's not all of us. Our Freetown, Reggie Burnett, welcome home, right? This is going to be a little hot, good one. We're going to cook tonight. We're going to cook the subjects, and I'm going to go abstract again. And I'm very relaxed. I like to be in this mood when I'm talking. I'm very relaxed in front of the camera. I'm very relaxed here with my family, and I'll save my little hyper stuff for my little short clips that I put out. But next to the woman, the black woman who's next to the main white man on the left who's speaking, you have about 3 other black women. And I had to explain, they had the weaves on and everything. I'm not knocking them. I do take it that they were actually African-born black women, right? And there was a white person that I can't figure out if it's a man or woman on the right. And they were kind of backing up everything the other main white man said. And he said something to the effect of, I can't say it verbatim. You'll hear it. It's going to come out. Let me see. I got everything set. Yeah, well, you'll hear it. But he's basically saying that there's something about the genetics of the black woman. Now, in the title, I put Black African woman and man because that's really what it's all about. But he's speaking to the women. Now, on the actual YouTube offering of this particular stream, because we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitch, and we're on LANCESCURV.com, but not yet. I didn't drop it there yet. It's in the article, but it's not right there on top. I want to do that in a few. I had to shorten the title because YouTube, they only allow 100 characters in the title. The other platforms you can go on, I don't know how long you can make the title, but when I make a long title, sometimes I have to chop it back because I get kind of enthusiastic with the words, right? So he's basically saying that the black woman's genetics are superior in the fact that they have these sexy shapes, the back sides of this to that, they own that. And there's no other race of women who have that like they do. And that's the truth. And he's talking about the sexy shape. Okay, let's go there. We're adults. We're going to go there. Let's talk about shapes. You have women of other races who may have an okay shape. You take the best of them, and they can't compare to our sisters, and especially the best of us. Let me see if I got the Space Ghost thing going on here. Let's see if I change this setting. What's going to happen? Remember last night, right? Okay. I think that's better. Maybe not. We'll see. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So when we look at it, and as a man, most men have a degree in what is what. And being the fact that I think I have not really a better opinion and understanding on the shape of a black woman, but because I do know anatomy, not because I went to a art high school that you had to take a test to get in and you had to be special to get in and all that stuff, but also being into bodybuilding in my past, knowing the muscles, knowing physique, knowing how you got the art going on, the artistic eye, you have the knowledge of physique, and just my very high odometer that says logged in many miles in certain arenas like that. And I will say, and I don't care who doesn't like it, the Black woman has the superior genetics on so many levels. But physically, when she is right, because you can have some who don't take care of themselves, I understand. You can have some who are more genetically gifted as a Black woman than other women. But there's an energy behind it that really sets it off. And these people don't understand that it's not just the body. The sexiness of a Black woman, that aura, that internal life force that she has, that she exudes, that is not just sexy. You see, the lower vibrational individuals would just read it as sexy or sex or something sexually oriented. It's life force. And again, I always say life force is like the whole tree, and the tree has many branches. Sexiness and sexuality is one branch on the tree. It might be 50 branches on your tree, but your life force is undergirding all of it. But only a limited being will see it as something sexy or just sex. Life force is sexy because sexy comes from life force, right? But life force doesn't come from sexy. So you have a lot of other women out here who try to do themselves up to emulate the Black woman, thinking that they can push more sexy amenities to enhance the body, to enhance their lips by shooting the stuff in the lips, laying out in the sun, doing their little kickbacks and shooting little things in their backside, thinking that they can emulate the life force. They don't even realize that they're just a Black woman in drag. Like a man in drag trying to look like a woman. You're not really a woman. You're just a man pretending. These white women are pretending to be Black women. And the sad part about it is what you have naturally as a Black woman, you throw it away trying to go after the inferior attributes of the white woman and those who are not Black, who are closer to that woman, that white woman. I'm not talking hate. White women know this. This is why they're so intimidated in the presence of a Black woman, and it's not just sexiness. I will say that. And I will also say that you have some low-minded, low vibrational brothers who that's all they can see is the physicality of the Black woman, and they don't understand that it's life force, and we're talking about creating life. And if I say goddess, somebody's going to get mad. Oh, you guys always go with that goddess and queen and this and this and that. No, I know when to back off of it because many are not on that level. And they can be as a Black woman, but they have forfeited that level to run after the lower vibrational stuff of this world, which renders them low and defeated, but they're still a step above. Even though some of our sisters may not be pursuing the higher vibrations on a mental and spiritual level, they got the physical. But if you master each one of what you can't see, it makes what you can see even more awesome. So in this video, you have the white man on the left side. You have the next Black woman who seems to be part of the team, like she's going after the Black woman, and because she's Black, other Black women will give in to her instead of having to deal direct with the white man at first, right? Then you have the three Black sisters that I believe are from or born in Africa, native born, don't know what country, and you have that white person. And I wish I can play it, but I will drop the link, but let me play it where you can get some of it. And he's making an offer to them, right, to say that he wants their eggs and that they're going to splice their eggs and insert their DNA to basically, and he didn't say this part, to come up with a superior race of white folks or white women that have the physical attributes of a Black woman, picking the best of us, but they're still white. And at the end, he said, because we want some of that. And in that, he offered them $100 for their eggs. $100. I'm not saying if it's $1,000 is any better. If you offer $1 million, some of you will take it because You know, that's just the way it is. Many people have their price. But to allow these demons to offer you the dead manifestation of life force called money, I don't know what happened to sweat. My sweat has been stinging my eyes. When it hits my eyes, I'm just sitting here making all these faces and whatnot. I was at the supermarket the other day, and the AC was on nice at one part, but the doors were open, and this warm air was coming in, and I started sweating, and I started scrunching up my eyes and rubbing my eyes. And a lady came up to me. She said, "Son, I don't know what it is that you're going through, but it's going to be all right. Jesus got your back." And so she was going to talk some more. I just said, "Praise the Lord." And she walked on. I said, "Pray for me." And it was just sweat. Sometimes you just can't convince people. You just have to go along with the program. I'm taking a peek inside the room for a second just to see if there's any, but I know you all have my back as far as the trolls are concerned, so that I can focus on what I have to say. So let's play this. But he offered them $100 and we want some of that. It is something more sinister. And if you ask me, and I wish you can see the video, but I'm going to drop the link in a second. Here it is.
Computer I'm investing in is called SCNT, which takes the egg of a young fertile woman specimen, takes the egg and takes out the nucleus and puts our D.N.A. in the nucleus and just go in and take it out. And this is part of this genetic greatness that we don't see in any other race on the planet. These curvy, sexy black women from Africa. You girls have a kind of a monopoly on this genetic perfection. Black women from Africa. You girls have a kind of a monopoly on this genetic perfection. And we want some of that. So girls, for $100, we will pay you for your egg.
I think the sound is a little terrible, so I'm going to just drop the link inside. I don't know if you can hear it really clear. Yeah, Robert Edwards, I just popped back in the chat room, Soul Snatchers on so many different levels. So here we have these women just didn't, and this is the link coming. You can play it along if you want. I'm talking, but you'll see the guy, you'll see the visuals, and I think that's very important. And again, for those who will see this just after it goes up, I'll try my best to get, some visuals in there, but you'll have the link and I'll drop the link in so you'll have it. But my first impression with this, now you see what he said, and I don't know if you heard it clear enough, because from my side, it's like, it sounded a little muffled because I heard it through my headphones, which I don't have on. There's no need to have these big, all hot headphones on if I'm not talking to somebody, right? But they always lowball us with something. If we have something valuable, here they come lowballing us, wanting to give the women $100. Like I said, it's not even worth giving that up because there's much more to it than meets the eye, if you ask me. They explained it that way, but how do we know if this entity is even of this world? Really and truly, when you look at him, and you'll see him when you look at that, when you click that link, he may not be of this world. They may want to snatch our DNA and snatch this and create something that's going to come back on us. Because once they do something that they think is superior to what they're going after, they want to go and get rid of the original item, the original thing, the individual. But they're going to quickly find out that they can splice DNA, they can manipulate the genetics, but there's an element of us that really breathes life into what they see. See, it's the unseen that makes them see even more. And I'm convinced of that. I am in Ghana. I'm in Accra and around. I'm all over the place. And like I said, I say this with the utmost respect. I have seen some of the most devastating shapes on some of our sisters. Yes, we have fast food here. We have the corn syrup, high fructose. We have some people who are eating themselves obese. But when you see the specimen of a sister, and I will say no homo, but there are men here who have devastating bodies, because I have once was into bodybuilding and I see what a person has naturally, and you sort of assess it. Okay, they have a wide shoulder structure, narrow hips. They have long muscle bellies, full muscle bellies, small joints, which gives the illusion of size. There's a lot of things you go through in your head because you had to know these things when you're going up against somebody on the bodybuilding stage, because it's all visual. So you have to know how to present yourself the best. And when you're standing next to one guy who has certain attributes on stage and they're comparing you, you have to know how to angle your body when those judges are watching you to look superior. You have to be a magician. So you have to be very aware of the body on this side, on that side, these guys you're going up against. So when I see a bodybuilder or a man or a woman with a very well-developed body, whether it's through weight training or just through athletics, you know, I know a drug body when I see it. I don't care. You can be on drugs for a short time. I know other things that tell about the drug body, right? So I'm not going to say I disrespect that, but it's like, okay, that doesn't astound me because you took a shortcut to get to the development that you have, which will not last. You're playing with your health, right? So when I see this, I understand there's something more to that body. They're looking at the body, but these people who have these recessive genes, because like it's been proven, you can't get the dominant from the recessive. You can only get the recessive out of the dominant. They want to flip it around and get dominant traits in their recessive bodies. That's like me putting a Mack truck engine in a Toyota Yaris. What was it? Yaris. It's a big engine. You have to have so much adaptation going and so many things going, and it's too big. The body of the Yaris can't handle a Mack truck engine. The suspension of a Yaris can't handle a Mack truck engine. The fuel system, the electrical system, it can't work. That's like trying to crossbreed a mouse with an elephant. It can't work. So now you're going to put all of this high-powered, high-energy, high life force amenities and different attributes into this recessive thing because they want this look. No, it's not just that. He's telling these women, oh, because you're so sexy and you're so this and you're so that. No, they want to live forever. They want your life force. They want your soul. They want your essence. They want that thing that they are well aware of that they cannot see. They know through observing us, there's something about us they can't see. What keeps us upright and strong through all of the stuff that comes to us and at us on this level of life as we go through this placement exam of a life. Because it determines what happens on the next life. This life is too short. It has to be something along those lines. In the short 80, 90, 100, if you live to 150 years is short. If you live to 1,000 years is short. When you compare it to eternity. So don't get it twisted. We are already ahead of the pack. So let's embrace what we are and stop downsizing and reducing ourselves and causing ourselves to be recessive because we've been brainwashed from young with this Eurocentric standard of beauty. Oh, my nose is too wide. I need to clip it. I need to break it and thin it out some. My lips are too big. I need to cut some of it out. My skin is too dark. I need to bleach it so I can look like them, because the closer you look like them, the more they'll accept you, because we have this sick need to be accepted and validated by them. So in order to be accepted and validated in our mind, we have to leave away from the things that they despise that we have that they want. So if we act as though we hate ourselves, and we don't want those things that come naturally to us that the little girls used to make fun of, the little black girls, the little white girls in school. Oh, you got those big butts. See, they knew from then. Ain't nothing big about it unless you eat to the point where you put on some size. But one thing that they don't really say when they see a well-shaped, and let's talk about the derriere, because we don't talk about that. This is not a sexually graphic type show, but we have to go there. And I know some of them or listen, and we gonna talk about it. You see, let's not just say derriere. Should I say ass or should I say backside? We'll keep it. I'll let you decide. Which should I use? Should I be PG-13 tonight? Or should I just go on and leave the gynecological terms away and just go on and cut it the way it's supposed to be? I'll sit here and wait. Just put A for ass and D for derriere. And I'll use every other word other than ass. Let me know. I don't want to offend anybody because folks sure send me text messages and cuss me out. You said that word. But the funny thing is the same thing. Right? Okay. I don't get no answer yet. Everybody's frozen or the chat room is frozen. I'll be okay. Okay. Darius said use the A for the ass. Let's get at least two more so we can see. I'm seeing nothing but A's, y'all. A. Okay. I see okay. Oh man, let's get a couple more. D. Okay, derriere. Okay, sun kiss. Now we had you were outvoted, but since Midnight Green, listen, use whatever. See, Empress Elegy is a great politician. See that? We're all grown. Okay, sun kiss. I won't use it as much since you're a veteran here, but we're all grown. With a black woman's ass, and we know that we don't. Some of our sisters may not be as spectacularly built proportion, but they still have the life force, which makes what they have look good. So for all of our sisters who may not be as endowed, understand you got the magic going on still. But because you can't see it, if your genetics as far as the physicality is concerned may not be as or have the wow factor that other sisters may have, don't sell yourself cheap. You have it. You got the glow. You got the inside. You got that what's going on. And that's the most important thing because the enemy doesn't like you even having that. Yes, Jerry, you love your blackness and you love jumped up. Where you go? Okay, wait. Okay. And you love your black. Of course I do. Of course I do. I feel the same way too. Doesn't mean I'm looking to sleep with all of them, but to enjoy that life force that's so nurturing and so powerful and comes from me and comes at me and I can immerse myself in it and I'm made for it. While the pink parasite sits by the side, and no matter how much money they have, no matter how much status they have, no matter how much they say they're so superior, deep down they hate your guts. And the only way they feel comfortable around you is, again, when you shed or attempt to shed the physical attributes of your blackness, but they can still tell who you are. Back in the day, when they used the word mulatto, right? It wasn't always half black, half white. Back in the South, 20s, 30s, 40s, I don't know the exact, but you know what I'm talking about. They had this term called passing for white. And you had some black folks that, because of slavery, they were mixed with the Caucasian blood. And a lot of them had lighter skin. I'm not going to say fair skin, because for people to have been so unfair and caused so much hell all over the planet, I'm going to say they have fair skin. If I say anything about fair, yes, you have unfair skin. You see how the words play? The manipulation, and they have fair skin. They have fair skin. I'm more fair skinned than you. No, don't give me that. I remember years ago when I was in bodybuilding, there was a couple of guys in the gym, and there was a gym called Madison Avenue Muscle, and it was on, oh God, I forgot the street, in the teens or in the 20s, right off of Fifth Avenue, maybe in the 30s. And that was a swanky kind of gym where models were there, and he had some porn stars there. And I remember there was a guy he wasn't a regular member, because you had a lot of guys passing through there. If they were in Manhattan, they lived in Jersey, and it was late, let me go to Madison Avenue Muscle. It's right there. We can grab something to eat afterward. And there was a guy who was there who had a big influence over some of the bodybuilding magazines. And so there was a gentleman who I knew well, there for, well, in another gym for a couple of years. We both happened to be there. We both decided to meet up there and train. And he had a more devastating, more shocking, I would say more beautiful body than I had. But I had no problems with that. I was always very realistic in my chances. And as an artist, I saw what was there. I would not lie to myself. But I was right up there with him. But he had certain features on his body that was way more advanced than me. So there was this white guy talking to me, and he was saying, well, Lance, we might consider you for not the front page, right? The back page. You know, Negroes got to go to the back, right? You still ain't going to get, it's different now. But back then, they wanted the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, white, all-American looking white boy. Even with white folks who were bodybuilders, white men, if they had brown hair, you better dye your hair blonde. You better cap them teeth and get a tan and be the all-American. And you better have the features. You better turn into that. It didn't always guarantee. He was basically telling me why I would be favorable to be on the back magazine. He didn't want to say, well, we're going to put you to the back because you're black. He was trying to make me and amp me up to feel superior over others without really saying what it was. And my friend who had a darker complexion, he was getting upset. But I was processing this. I can't believe this man is saying it without really saying it. I said, well, look at the body of my brother here. I said, I won that particular title in the teenage division, but he's going for bigger things in the open division. And right now I'm not in the teenage division no more. So these older guys will smoke me. I need to have a couple years to put on some more size and take my time. And when I suggested him, he just turned his back to him and kept talking to me. So there's a lot of racism going on in that day. And the only reason why he talked to me and focused on me is because my complexion in comparison to my friend was a little lighter, but my body was not better than his. I'm not putting myself down. I know my chances. Every man has got to know his limitations and what he has a shot on. That's why I walked away from it, and I can walk away from it at the particular time like I did. Got some more burning sweat. But I'm not crying, y'all. Lady in the store told me it'll be all right, whatever I'm going through. Jesus got me. I said, yeah, praise the Lord. Anyway, they do what they do, and they know how many of us think being brainwashed. They like to find out if you are or not. And this gentleman in this particular video that you heard and didn't see, he had some real coons there with him because they're sitting there listening to what this man had to say. They were a little insulted when they heard about the $100 to go up in your body and let this white man take an egg and lowball you. I'm not saying there's a particular price you need to ask, but he's going to tell you what the price is. And this is to tell you how they think of us. See, he wasn't even looking to pay anything substantial. He wasn't looking to change the lives of these women. He looked at them like he was on a junkyard or at a junkyard and just wanted to take a part off and pay a little bit of money while that thing sits there like a piece of junk. These women were not a piece of junk, but because of their mindset, and they all had them long weaves, y'all. I'm not knocking any of my sisters as they transition out of the European mindset. And I don't say anything in a vindictive way because there may be some here in the chat room and I love you all. There may be some listening and I love you all, but we've been done a dirty deal on a psychological level. I was raised up in the system. I had things I had to get off of me. My parents kept me pretty much on point, but when you're doused in this thing and you're schooling and just outside in the world and friends who think a certain way, to the day we transition is going to be something where it's a constant battle to erase this European thing that's put on us. Some of us get there early. Some of us are aware of it. We have different backgrounds. Listen, I have a cousin of mine. And I'm going to say it, not like I'm saying it to knock him because of his color, but my homeboy was purple black. And all he wanted to do was lay with the white women. And one day he came home from work and his white wife, who he worked so hard for to keep her in such a nice home in upstate New York, they had their kids together and he made sure to adopt some more children as it's noble. If you adopt your own, he wouldn't have adopted some white babies. He was gone. And then he tried to after he found out, like I said, when he came home, there was another parasite in the bed with her. Yeah. And to make matters worse, his wife, in that beautiful big bed that they had, not only was she laying on her back with the white man on top of her, not only was she on all fours, I'm just setting it up because he didn't see all of this. But when he saw what he saw, he probably would have wanted to see one of those positions. And it would have been not so bad. Yeah, it would be bad. No man wants to come home and see his wife swallowing the man's next generation. But this is what he saw. He saw the white man on his knees on the bed, spread eagle, and his white wife playing roto-rooter with the man's anus. And he was frozen. And this white wife of his hardly wanted to kiss him. Well, I know he was glad now, but he realized how he was used, and he realized there's something wrong here. Something wrong. You used me to set you up and take care of you. I was your little nigger buck slave, adoring you over my own sisters. But I happen to know more about that situation because my aunt, she's deceased. I'm not talking about her real bad. She's from Jamaica. That's my father's sister. She had a touch of looking up to anything that wasn't light. So when I came into the world, of course, I was her favorite nephew. But this is the sickness that we as Black people have. I'm telling mine, y'all. She was a good businesswoman. She was smart. She was respectable, but she had that thing. That thing. And she wasn't trying to get it off, and it translated into her son, who was very much melanated, but he didn't like it. So after that, he went through his changes. He might be listening to this now, right? He wanted to hang around me more. He wanted to discover his Blackness. He had no clue. He didn't even have a foundation in any of it. Because when he was raised up, his mother, my aunt, my father's sister, made sure that he stayed in the best white schools that money can buy. She wasn't rich, but you know, Jamaicans work hard. The old school Jamaicans work hard, not these old gold teeth, bumper cloud weed, blah, 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 blah. No, not them clowns. I don't associate with that. But I love my brothers and sisters. But when you start going off into decadence and you're a clown and you're lower level, I don't care what you are. If you lower level, we can't vibe. Have some dignity. And at least my father had that. She had that to a degree, except she couldn't accept her complexion. And it translated over into my brother. So here he is now wanting to hang out with me. Want to hang out in my neighborhood, which looked like me. And he's as Black as he was, people wasn't paying him no mind, but he's holding himself all anal retentive. Lance, I kind of feel, a little out of place here. Plus, he was a highly decorated police officer, but he had status. Been in several documentaries and all that stuff. I ain't telling it because I'm not trying to associate with that mindset. I have to love him, but we've had certain differences, and eventually we had a massive falling out. And it was really because of him and how he felt about himself. But I remember one time he told me, and it shocked me, that there are Black men out here like this. He said, Lance, I really want to see what it's like to be with a Black woman. This is like a Saturday Night Live comedy skit or some old Eddie Murphy's 1980s movie or something. Like, you a Black man talking about you want to know what it's like to be with a Black woman? Are you serious? You ain't gonna be too good if that's all you can say, man. You done gave up your rhythm card. You done gave up your soul. And now you went home and saw your wife doing the job with her mouth that toilet paper does in the toilet. How you feel now? Now, I'm not saying all would do that. I can't say some, and I don't know, and I don't want to know. Maybe they all do that. Oh, I'm not mad at the act. I'm saying they go back to their own and do what they do. Do that to you. I bet you she never did it to you. Huh? She ain't never do it to you, but she did it to him. Old fat, pop belly, nasty, sloppy, gut was hanging and no backside and little spiny legs and look bags under his eyes, old looking. And he was, and he walked in and she was doing that and he letting out poots. And she, and you go home and try to kiss that at night and she don't even want to kiss you. Well, she was doing you a favor. Do what you do what you want to do when you're consenting adults with your own. It's more of a experience when you let go because you got the life force. That's why they're jealous of us and curious of us when it comes to all things erotic, because when we are right and we're not into the drugs or substances or in a screwed up mentality, that energy is so overwhelming that we had to coin the term, once you go black, you never go back. Once you go black, not some watered down black that done gave away his blackness or tries to reduce it. But when you know who you are and you don't have Emmy, what's the M? There's an Emmy in my life that I know I got a call from years ago that slipped out, right? But when you have this thing and you don't hold back. If it feels good, do it. Not always now. You can catch something, but there's nothing like it. And they realize that you got a machine gun and they got a little cheap water pistol that leaks out water all down the wrist, ain't even working right for a water pistol. And it has nothing to do with the size of your organ, gentlemen. Yeah, nobody wants to roll around in the bed with a Tootsie Roll. Or the woman gets nude and the man gets nude and her clit is bigger than his penis, and that's considered lesbianism. Because all they can do is just rub clits. I'm not trying to get too lewd. I'm just trying to be a little funny. But it's not about that size. It's about the soul and the life force. It's a divine thing that opens up the heavens. See, we put these limitations on ourselves because we've adopted the insecurities of that white man. Because all he can do, worst thing in the world is a white man with a big penis. Because, oh yeah, sisters, I got this. Look at that. It's not just about that. But do you have the spirituality and that energy? There's something about you that speaks power, that makes that woman's womb shape-shift and just flip-flop because you're a real man, not because of the size of your organ, but because of your life force and the power you have to build and the power that you have to have wisdom and the power that you have to have foresight to know that if I'm with this brother, I'm going to be all right. Because there's a lot of good dick connected to a fool. There's a lot of good big dick connected to idiots. Can't be mad at the guy with the big dick who have the wisdom and the drive, whatever. Then you got it going on. But if you think that's just what it's going to be, you sitting up mad in the dark, not because you chose to, but because that big dick man couldn't get the money to pay the bills, to pay the light. That big dick man have you packing up because you got 8 days before you're foreclosed on. That big dick man is the last thing on your mind because you were driving a nice car to go to work and now you on a bus stop because he mismanaged your funds and now they repossessed the car. Your stomach is grumbling because the big dick man didn't know how to keep food in the refrigerator. Now, I have no vendettas or no anger toward a brother who has a big penis. We need more in the world, but we need more in the world that are connected to the things that women really want because a big dick doesn't bring security. And I don't care what the modern day woman says. I'm not on that anyway. But if you're a woman who, I don't need no man, you can make it on your own. We understood. But you want to know you got a superstar of a man, a husband, boyfriend, whatever you want, fiance, whatever you want to call her, somebody who has made a commitment to you that you know if you fall sick or you know if you get pregnant and can't work, and he got this. But you know what? He got this anyway. And we have a lot of sisters who are working and making more money. But that brother who might be a blue collar brother got his little side legal hustle and he got other things going on. And he may end up making more or knowing how to work with it a little better. So man's world, the white man's world, takes away the potency of our life force because he hates to see us respected as a man. You see some of the snide comments that they put inside this comment section on this. You know, some of those guys who have a black face as far as a picture on the page or their profile picture, and they say some stupid ass things that they're just a white man mask himself because they don't like the respect that I get. Yeah, we can have differences. I have no problem if you don't agree with me. I say I don't know everything. Please teach me or show me your perspective so I can process it and mix it in with what I know. And maybe I'll say, you know what? This is a little higher. I need to let that go or keep this part that's true and add this in, because you don't go to the top of your consciousness and on your vibration right away. When you're climbing a mountain, what you do, you climb this way, one hand at a time, right? You fit your hand in that crack and you fit your hand here and you find your way up there. Doesn't happen overnight. But if you stay on one level, you'll never go anywhere. You'll regress. Anybody who stands still is slipping into darkness. But they know that there's something about us, and now they actually want to physically go into our body and change around what we are and input something of themselves, and they will do it. They can't just leave well enough alone. And we just can't leave them alone and let them do to us what they want to do. We have been an experiment as much as we have been in their presence. If you really look back at history, they get busted. Tuskegee experiment. They get busted with these different things. What's the sister's name? Clara Barton, the one who had the well-shaped backside, but they took her and used her for some circus act because of her hips and her backside, which was nothing odd to us, but they were so fascinated with it. And they treated her in an inhumane way because of it. And correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that they had went up in her womb and did something to her, a hysterectomy. I'm not sure. They messed with this woman only because of her shape that really deep down they were jealous of. See? You have these white women who have these issues with childbirth, and some of us and some of our sisters do too, because we're eating the diets of them. We're living around their vibration. We're jumping through the hoops of their rules where we have to be at the job at this particular time. We got to be here. So we have stripped ourselves by not acknowledging our true sense of spirituality. And a lot of us settle for church. Well, I'm just going to go on to church, man. I'm falling asleep, man. Like, damn, brother man been praying the whole service. What's up? He ain't praying. He just thinks by being in a physical place called a church, where many feign spirituality, but it's just religious gobbledygook, that they'll be better. Well, I ain't missed a Sunday in church for the last 25 years. Well, nigga, you should have just stayed home and slept, because it ain't do nothing for you. Right? Spirituality is where it's at. When you see the meerkats out in the African plains and hills and jungles, and they all up like this, and they know to put themselves back to back so they're one meerkat can cover what the other one doesn't, and they move in unity. They don't have to tap each other and say there is danger coming over that side. They see when the one runs, they all run, because that means one spotted, because it may be something so dangerous up on each other, on them, that they don't have time to talk. And we have the potential for that unity, and we had it, and we threw it all away. Remember that song? What's the name? The group was High Gloss. You'll Never Know. It was back in 1981. At the end of it said, you had it all and you threw it away. You'll never know, you'll never know. High Gloss. Google that. Beautiful song. I love that song. That's the one song I wanted to do a posing routine and bodybuilding on and never did. Sometimes I'm in here with my fat old self playing the song and doing the moves, even though my body don't look the way it used to. Faded Glory. Do it while you're young, y'all. But we have been an experiment. They want what we have. They despise us for what we have. And we have superior genetics across the board. Like, again, I say, you can find some of us who are slightly recessive because of our proximity to them and their order of this thing called life, which really is living death, death foods, death activities. We're all moving to transition, but indulging in the things that they indulge in is bringing us to death. And they want us to understand wrongly that our transition is the same as their death. And they want us to think that our transition is their death. And that's why they love us more when we fear their thing called death. But they sit there stupid when we say we don't fear death because it's just another stage of life. But from this side, all they can see is that your body's not moving. Your heart is not beating. You're not breathing. Your body's decomposing. Oh my God, I'm going to be so scared to be in the casket. Listen, I am not this shirt. I mean, I did the show with no shirt on, right? But I'm not this shirt. If you think I'm this shirt, and then you don't see me no more, and you see this shirt thrown down over there on that couch. Oh, Lance is gone. This shirt is not moving. I'm not the shirt. You, white man, might be the shirt. And when you drop down, that's it. That's why they cannot get as fast some sense of spirituality. Some practice hard, I'll admit. But they can still only go but so far. Like I said, like the guy that's the 5'2" Korean man. He can practice on the basketball court all he wants. You'll have some dude who learned the game, black brother who's so 6'5" and smokes him. Practice makes perfect, but it's only the perfection that you can get for your highest level of perfection. You can only go but so high depending on the different factors, your passion towards something, your genetics, and sometimes and oftentimes with us, we have it already. You can't get it, right? What's the group there? En Vogue. And whenever they see something of us that they want, in my head, all I hear is never going to get it, never going to get it, never going to get it, a woo-hoo-hoo. You ain't never going to get it. Your sisters, your women, your white women are going to only be black women, and they're white women in drag trying to be a black woman. You don't have those components. And sisters, stop trying to limit yourself. Stop trying to limit yourself. A message came up over here. Okay. YouTube didn't like that one with the little kid that I did. They didn't knock it or shadow ban or give me a strike. It's just they have ways of letting you know that, no, we don't approve of this, but we're good. Anyway, we got to stop trying to reduce ourselves to make the others feel comfortable because they watch us up and down. You go to the urinal, and all of a sudden, this white man who's on the job with you, you might know him a couple of years, you're taking a leak next to him. Hey, buddy, how cold is the water? You fascinated with my penis? Why you got yours, right? The sensations that go to your penis don't go to my brain, so I don't care about your penis. And what I feel at night or day or afternoon or alleyway or backseat of a car, under the table in a restaurant or whatever, you're not feeling. My nerve, and look, when you get hungry, I'm not feeling it. When I get hungry, you ain't feeling it. Be concerned over your own stomach or your own penis. But they have a fascination with us with that. And it's a weird kind of thing. They hate us for it, but they're attracted to us for it. The white women make fun of the black woman, but the black woman in her fullest majesty on all levels, not just a booty thing. And I skipped that part. I'm going to go back to that. We're awesome. We are awesome. Our very presence. When we walk into a room, just quiet, not the cackling hood stuff, but just dignified, and the confidence that we have in knowing who we are. they get very, very nervous when they know that you know who you are and you carry yourself this way and you're not intimidated when you see them. Yeah. Yes, boss. Me? And when they've said in the past on certain jobs, they've said to other people, oh, that Lance, he's professional, yes, and he's courteous, but there's something about him that's very intimidating. It ain't just this. You feel my essence from across the room. The trials and tribulations that I've been through and stuff that I've had to overcome that would have left others for dead. I've overcome so much. And you see that I'm proven to myself. I don't need your validation. Is this good enough, boss? Is I good enough? I'm the best thing you've ever had in this company or in your life. Now, I'm not saying that myself personally, I'm saying it's so souped up, I'm the best thing. No, I'm not like that. That doesn't even concern me. When it comes time to dealing with them, they're looking for that crack in your armor of insecurity that they will put their fingers in and rip it back. They don't want you confident, the real confidence, not that fake stuff that can be knocked down because it's based on something. You confident because you're making six figures, and when they fire you from that job, and you don't have it no more, now you turn into somebody else. I don't care if I don't have that job or any job. I'm going to walk as a man who is full of life force, who is one of the most powerful forces of nature that they have ever seen. Because it's not hinged on something that they feel they gave me, or I'm connected to their system and they're affording me a status as long as I tap dance for them. And that's what they want from these women in that video. It's not just they want the sexiness. That is shallow. That's a given. They want your essence. They want your soul. And there's so many ways that they get us with that. Recessive genetic parasites. They want to feel what it's like to have dominant genes, because they know when things happen and trials and tribulations come to them, they're the first to go. They're the latest one to get here, and they're the first to go. I remember I was getting fired off a job, and one of the guys, as I was walking out, who didn't like me, he said, oh, last hired, first fired, or something like that. I said, yeah, read your history books. That's you on the planet Earth. And he got mad. He wanted to go to the. I said, I don't work here no more. I should wait outside for you and tell you something that will have you up for the next 5 days. Don't bother me. This is your system. I'm bigger than your system. You don't see no bird flying. Oh, man, we got to go to the supermarket. No, all these trees and berries and worms and things that they can eat. Even on a monetary level, let's take it down to a low vibration monetary level. If you had $5 million right now handed to you, most of you ain't even going to get up and go to work. Your whole outlook would be different. But we have millions in a different form with our life force and who we are, and we don't even acknowledge that we don't have to fear death. They do. And those of us will have to fear death when we live and act as they do. Simple as that. I know I'm getting up in years, but in 20 years, I'm 79. Less than 21 years, I'm 80. I'm going to celebrate these next 20 years and 30 years. And when it's time to go, I'm gone. I'm going to be LANCESCURV on the next level, except a more amplified version. They might call me something different. But if you go where I go, and if I do the right thing here, in this placement exam of a life, we may not even have the bodies we have. We'll be in some kind of invisible, surreal thing. I know you. Yeah, I know you too. We're not going to not know each other, right? When you hug your loved one, and your nose gets near their hairline, there's a distinct smell from the, or scent, not a smell. Smell connotates a stench, right? We'll say scent from the pheromones that are uniquely theirs. Now, in relationships years before, it's a similar thing, but each person has their own unique scent. So we have a way of knowing. When my father would come home late and he would walk past my room, he wasn't stinking. He worked, but he had a basic scent that I knew he was home, even if I woke up after he got in. And even as he transitioned at the hospital, and I didn't know he was transitioning, and I heard them steps upstairs where his room was in the house I grew up in, and I inhaled, and it wasn't always also a physical scent, but it was partially that to jumpstart me, but I knew he was saying so long to me for a time on the physical level, and I knew it. I cried, as one would, but I knew it. And I knew there's more to this. Same with my mother. Certain things have happened to me to let me know that this thing called death, we don't have to worry about as long as we do what we're supposed to do on this level. So those of us who are hating on our brother, hating on our sisters, as much as it comes collectively against us, all of us, we sitting up here trying, well, you're indigenous, I'm FBA, and I'm this. Listen, man, we all one. This little speck of dust called Earth, it's a speck. We flying over the ocean saying, man, the oceans are vast. This is a speck in the universe, which no matter how much we look through the telescopes, faster than the eyesight can go. 186,000 light years. Light years? Light is fast. Shoot. Walk from now to the end of your life. Or let me let you walk for 1,000 years. You can't even walk a light minute. And they say hundreds and thousands, millions of light years away. We live in a place that's so vast, yet we think so limited. Isn't that something? We limit ourselves. We stay in one lane. We don't have the confidence. We don't look at nature and see how limitless it is. But we stay in relationships that keep us narrow. We stay in mindsets that keep us narrow-minded, and we're shackled. Slave master said, oh, you free, which we know we're not free. But whatever bit of more freedom that we have to a point, we don't even realize that or exercise the right with that, because we're like that elephant who performed in Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey's circus all its life from when it was small. And now the white man who fed him out of his natural environment, kept him clean and trained him, whatever. Now we're going to set him free in his natural environment, and you put him out in the wild and you lift up the cage and he stands there. All of these hundreds of miles of what they would call wild, that is his natural environment, that he can graze on this and eat this, and the lake is there, and there's other elephants to have fun with freely, even though he's a bit old. He's been taken away from his natural environment so long that he doesn't know how to vibe in it. So he stands there, all the food in the world around him, and he's hungry. He doesn't know how to fend for himself. And many of us who've been let go out of this thing called slavery, and we're still attached to their system, and we can't be entrepreneurs because we have ruled that out of our mind, and we just want to stay next to him. And when he shakes us loose, we die because we have not developed those instincts that brought about this thing called Black Wall Street. And directly after the thing called slavery, we made most of these inventions and made so many within a 10-year period back in the 1890s and 1880s and coming up into the turn of the century and beyond. And white folks say, oh, you got a good thing there, little nigga? They take it, patent it, and make it theirs. Even Jack Johnson, the fighter, heavyweight champ of the world, made this thing called wrench. And it was so necessary. He made this thing. Jack Johnson, the heavyweight champ of the world, made the thing called wrench, the concept behind that. But he's a fighter, so he's supposed to be stupid. The man had balls. We'll talk about that another time. Mike Tyson said, listen, I was feared, but Jack Johnson was straight crazy. Even Mike Tyson said he probably wouldn't do what Jack Johnson did the way the world was then. But they were so mad that he made this thing called wrench. Guess what? This is why we get the term monkey wrench. Monkey wrench. Oh, give me the monkey wrench. They needed the wrench. They used the wrench, but they had to put that word in front of it to feel better about using something that a black man created and is used all over the world. What toolbox basically doesn't have some form of a wrench? Jack Johnson, a black man born in America, lineage out of slavery and out of Africa. And there's something. And look how many things it's not just a stoplight. It's not just these 3 or 4 things. Yes, so and so. Garrett Morgan made this and this, No. Did I say Garrett Morgan? Is it Garrett Morgan? Garrett Morgan is a dude from Saturday Night Live. Did I cross wires here? My mind is out there right now, yo. Let me see how long we've been on. We're on an hour and 6 minutes. I'll keep going. I thought it was longer than that because I didn't make my points yet. Let's get this out the way. I said whether we're going to use the A word or the D word, derriere or ass. The black woman's ass, fully developed, is a sight to behold. It's a work of art. And you have other women who have a 2-dimensional ass or derriere. Okay, sun-kissed, I'm going to say derriere sometime. They look good from the back, but when they turn sideways, they're flat. The true black woman has a 360 degree, any way you look, it's well-rounded. Anyway, ain't no angles. Any way you look, and you can't see no flaw. Now, am I basing her essence just on the body part? But these white women hate you even for that. They don't want to walk down the block next to you when you have your jeans on and they have their jeans. They don't. They built like Gumby. And a lot of them are doing different things to not be that, but they lack the life force. And you get these brainwashed black men who run after those artificially enhanced Caucasian women, thinking that, okay, she got the body of a black one, which is a damn lie. But you laying there and ain't getting no life force back. You are cheating yourself. You're not getting back what you're giving. You're giving your soul, you're giving your essence to this white woman, and you're going to pump some babies up inside of her, and she's going to get over because she's mixed in with what you're giving her, and it gives her a shot partially to live on forever. But they hate you, but they want that. And they will go as far as admitting that they want to take your DNA in your eggs and drop their DNA in your eggs. They can't stand it. And they don't want you to know it. And again, you've been doing everything you can do to rid yourself of these advantages that you have. It's not just physical. And so this was a desperation move, this particular gentleman in this video. But let's go a little deeper. We don't have healers anymore in our community. We don't do the practices that will keep us healthy. So what do? We go to their hospitals. Boy, I just realized how thirsty I am. Pardon me for taking a time or a second to sip some of this water because I've been sweating and I ain't putting nothing in. I'm looking even more depleted. So, the thing is, we go to their hospitals, but can you trust them? They've been doing things to us. There's not a few cracks on the outside. These young girls in Washington by the thousands who disappeared Where did they go? Did an alien come down and swoop down and come get them? Possibly. We know, we've always known there's more to it, to this earth and this universe than meets the eye. We don't have to wait for the government to tell us that. I've seen things with my own very eyes that were different. We'll say it that way. My friend Carlos was right next to me. We were driving. It had to be back 1997, I'd say. Early 97, late 96. We had just finished moving a friend of ours, a washer and dryer that the building she lived in wouldn't allow. So we had to pay off the security guard in the back, and we moved it up to the back in the middle of the night. Mission accomplished. Because what they were offering was too much to pay each month to have a washer and dryer, but they didn't want you to bring in your own. So we made sure she was good. So now we were heading on back to Queens from Brooklyn, and we were hungry. That time I was eating anything. So we went to the chicken spot. He got more chicken than anything else. I got a sandwich or something and something to drink and some sorbet, some, the ice, the sweet ice. And this was like about 3:30 in the morning. And we were over by Liberty Avenue and Sutphen Boulevard, right there in the corner. I still think they have a fast food joint there. So we went around the back block because we were parked and they had some construction going on Liberty Avenue. So we had to go around the back block, still industrial. And so we were maybe 8 car lengths from the corner. We weren't speeding. It was late. Dark. Now, the warehouses had no doors there. They had windows high up. So there was no way for the thing that we saw that crossed the street to go, because we were heading toward the corner. We looked, it was gone. We both saw, look how I'm sweating, see? Look at the discoloration of the shirt. Let me take this shirt off. No. That's why I didn't have it on that other one, right? But we saw this thing. It was more orange, like these letters behind me that say on air. It was a little more orange than that, and it glowed. It glowed. It was a figure. I believe it was a male figure. I don't know if it's a woman. I mean, it didn't have any womanly traits. It was just a big thing about 9 feet tall. Any of you all who have any knowledge on what this might be in the future, if you hear this and you're not here now, give me your opinion on it. It's very interesting. And it walked, but it was like it was walking faster than the steps it took. So if you see it go from here to here like this, it was moving. Like each step, it was almost sliding. Like when you're at the Atlanta airport and it's not the escalator, but I forgot what they call it, when it's that flat one that you walk on, but you don't have to walk because you're moving forward anyway. And it was like flames around the form of it, just fast. Just like when you see the models on TV and they had that big fan and the shirt is jumping fast, that's what it was. And the body was orange and red, orange, like when you see flames, it was moving from within, but it was a human form. And and he was like, yo, Lance, what the F is that? I was like, and I kept my eye on it. I'm like, well, I had to. I said, I don't know. And it went across and just went down the street. Now we get to the corner immediately and we look, nothing. We don't get high. We don't do drugs. It's one of those things. This was not a Halloween thing. This wasn't some little kid with a glowing costume. This joker was tall. I'm looking at these ceilings, and it was at least 9 feet. At least 9 feet, if not 10. So you tell me. I was sitting back in the 70s on the steps in my block on 134th Street with my buddy, Wayne Lloyd. I'll call his name. It's nothing bad. We sat there. Everybody else went in. It was a summer night. It's more like 3 o'clock. We thought other of our buddies were going to, because when we were in the block, we were in the block. You know what I mean? So our parents didn't have to worry. We just say, hey, I'm down by Wayne's house, and we're down there. We're covered. Anything jump off, the other parents will alert or whatever. There's nothing jumping off then. We were sitting on the steps. And we saw this thing. And it kept going and faded out. This was no time near the 4th of July. It was long after It wasn't any fireworks. We saw this little thing like it wasn't a saucer, it was a light. And it kind of, we looked at each other, we kept, and he's a comedian, he's a clown. One day I'm gonna get him on here, man. He could tell you some stories about how we grew up. I'm gonna reach out to everybody so we can have like some kind of open thing and just even joke on each other like we used to. You really have a good time on that. But it happened like 5 or 6 times. And we sat there for the next hour waiting. Wasn't any firecracker, and it wasn't as far, but it wasn't like the next 5 blocks over, but it was something. It's like, what was that? How about the time when I was driving the bus? I was driving the 37 route, which never goes downtown. It's a satellite route that went from the Florida Mall to Pine Hills, where I used to live. And it was a particularly rainy day. In Florida, the rain can just pop out of nowhere, rain over here, rain over, you don't know when it's coming. But it was a windy day and it was raining. The rain was raining hard. But as I drove the bus, John Young Parkway, and I don't say, Miko, right? You got to know these streets, right? I'm going through menopause. So, right? Yeah. John Young Parkway, I was coming up and we had to make a left on Sand Lake. So after I spun around, was it the Home Depot? On a Walmart area. I'm coming up. And so the wind was blowing this way. The rain was blowing this way. But there was another cloud that was solid. And it was low. And it was big. So I didn't know it was coming from behind me. I said, look at this big cloud. I'm driving. I get to Sand Lake Road on the left turn 6 lane from John Young, and it was a long light. So I had a chance to look up at this thing. And this was a solid cloud that had its body intact. And the wind and the rains had nothing to do with it. It was like a fixed cloud that didn't even move within itself. To me, it was transporting some type of huge spacecraft, government style. And they cloaked it in a cloud. They probably caused the rain to happen to keep people distracted. And this thing went off into the horizon for dozens of miles, and I could see it until it got small. And after it was gone from that area, the rain stopped. I was like, look at this, man. I'm not dumb. Even inside the cloud, it did not move, like nothing swirling around it. It was solid. And I pointed it out to 2 or 3 people there, and they're like, yo, that's not normal, man. But ain't nobody looking up. Everybody's down in their phone. Down in their phone. Crazy. Let me see Letitia, what she says here. She said, you're describing the electric being from that Netflix show, Strange Things. It was mad torn, a human figure of electricity. It was pure evil. You're right. I did not get any good feeling from that. I didn't. We were scared too. And Carlos is a dude who's done time upstate in Rikers Island, and he's like, yo, get me the F out of here. He's been shot at. He's shot at people. He's fighting. He's not scared of that stuff. That's business as usual. And he's a gentle giant. But with that, he instinctively knew. Matter of fact, he came over my house and he didn't leave till long after the sun came up. Because there are things here. There are things in Orlando where I lived. There are things that I've seen here in the motherland. Little things catch your eye. You're like, okay. And I'm here where stuff is not tampered with as much. In the city, yeah, but on the outskirts, when you go out in the country, you don't know what you're going to see. You could feel things. But I will say, and it's off topic, that probably 95% of those who claim to know things, but you got to pay them and all that stuff, they quacks. They capitalizing on the whole proximity. But there's that 5%. I'm saying 5%. It might be 10, might be 15, might be 2. That's way up in the mountains. And you got to fight to get there. I mean, you better know somebody to know somebody to know somebody to get up there. And these people don't really do the petty thing of evil. Go to them and they'll help you bring the loved one back and just do this and this and that. The real stuff works. I've heard things out here, but I also see the quacks that are working some little job, driving a cab, but then you go back to their house later, they got this shrine and so, and they what? Use that to make some money, man. Or you doing it to make money. But as much as we claim things in this world, why don't we use that thing that's real? We could change it overnight. But we're too busy giving our secrets away to those pink parasites who find themselves in the documentaries doing these rituals, and they right there learning it. And guess what? They turn it around and use it on you. They're using your stuff on you. I'm not nasty, but the ear itches, and I got an itch right here. Oh, it feels so good. It's orgasmic. Or he be digging his ear on shows. I ain't using that pen. No, it's just the itch right there. Shower. Come on, y'all. Y'all, I can imagine what some of y'all are doing. Scratching things. We're human, yo. You know what I mean? But what we are is what they want. But let's get into these hospitals. And we think that this stuff is so mysterious. If they can really do an independent audit of the activities of a hospital and to go into every wing and every room and every underground sub-basement in there, you're going to find some things that you would not believe. We talk about organ theft. If this man in the video earlier said he wants to purchase the eggs of a black woman and insert his DNA, he's being nice about it. No, he's not really being nice about it. But what about those girls and men who are snatched up that we never see? And out in the Sudan, they just take your organs and rip it out of you. They're not being humane, and you're not being humane taking somebody's organs. I'm saying, okay, we're going to take your organs, so let's give him some painkillers. Let's make sure he survives. No, they're taking it out of you because they know that we got them Toyota parts. I'm not saying we're Japanese, but the Toyota parts and Toyota vehicle last longer than American parts. So I'm comparing it to cars. Our stuff lasts longer, and they know it, and they hate it. They want to mix in with us so bad and eventually be us, but you can't take us. You can't have that evil, negative life force and want to take over the bodies of those who have a different life force, that some of us may do bad things because we've been around y'all so much. If you're not Jamaican and you keep hanging around Jamaicans, you're going to start having a Jamaican accent. If you take chicken and put it in the same bowl overnight with fish, the chicken's going to taste like fish, right? That's why you got to watch the people you're around, because it's a good thing when it's a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. And they've beat us down so much, but they realize that thing that we have, they can never get it, and they never will get it. But they want to try it on for size and see if there's something they can do to be immortal, because the energy of us is immortal, which makes our bodies go further. But you have to be right in how you live. I'm not assessing the wrong way or judging or saying it has to be this or that, but that energy that is something conducive to positive atmosphere around you. When you come around, you know when a person is an a-hole, you'll know it. Sometimes it's the way they hold their face. Sometimes we're wrong because we see people that remind us of people who aren't so good, and they end up being good. But there's some that when you are in your lane, when you're in your zone on a spiritual level, and you've been meditating for days on end, not like, oh, I'm going to purposely meditate. No, this thing comes over you and you have a stillness and a peace about you. Like I say, for me, it's been like that these days. Just calm. Okay, I did the one show today. I wanted to do more, but the lights went out for a little bit early. It rained. I fell asleep. I did this. I'm flowing. Maybe tomorrow I'll do 50 things. I got 21 years in. What am I fretting for? Let me enjoy my righteous momentum. We're in this present time worried, not showing concern, and being proactive, but worried. You got the power. You got the power. And you don't even know it. And this parasite is sucking from you and building great things that you're in awe of because he's using your power and you don't even know it's yours. That's a damn shame. You clapping for him and you clapping for the fact that he's dealing in stolen goods with your life force. And just like this man in the video, he's telling you straight up. There's something we've got to have. Let me play it again. Come on, y'all. Let me play it again so you can hear it. Make sure, okay, everything's set. You should hear it.
So technology to computerized resting in is called SCNT, which takes the egg of a young, fertile rumen specimen, takes the egg and takes out the nucleus, puts hard D.N.A. in the nucleus, and just go ahead and take it out.
Stays for it.
Jesus. And this is part of this genetic greatness that we don't see in any other race on the planet. These curvy, sexy black women from Africa. You girls have a kind of a monopoly on this genetic perfection. Black women from Africa. You girls have a kind of a monopoly on this genetic perfection. And we want some of that.
They want some of that.
Girls, for $100, we'll pay you for your egg.
They want some of that. That's something. Sweet D, how are you? Much love, my sister. Yeah. Yeah. So we ain't gonna get a break on this level, no matter how you slice it. But why do we get sick, which is an unnatural state? When we get sick, it's not normal for us to be sick. We haven't been taking the things that we need in our bodies to combat what's on the outside that's always coming at us. Like I said on one of the shows earlier this week, I basically said that imagine how many times our bodies have been attacked and we were so well and so armed in our natural defenses that we didn't even feel it. We might have felt a little weird going into work or I feel a little funny. Your body's going to war for you, as it should be able to conquer anything. That's why it's amazing to me when the HIV and the AIDS, man, it came from this. Everything that's here is here. It's them messing around in some laboratory to bring out something new to attack you because it always involves us. I told you it was in early 2020 when this coronavirus was still getting headlines. I was walking over to a Office Max or Office Depot. It was in Winter Park. And I whipped out my phone. I said, listen, I'm hearing about this too much now. Number one, they're not giving a breakdown of the races that are getting it. They love to do that. Well, it's 66% Caucasian, 30% Black. And so they love that documenting mess, causing a problem and sitting back like they're the heroes documenting stuff. They never said anything along those lines. Right? So then I said, you know what? In the same video, I said, just a matter of time, whatever this thing is, it's going to come around to Africa as a way, or they're going to try to use it to come at Africa for something, to get us to do something or mess us up. So it never messed us up really over here like that. They still got people to take the shots. And you go down to the markets that I show you on the videos and stuff, everybody up on top of each other. Ain't no corona hitting like that. They're 500 cases. Who knows what it was? It's nothing that just came natural. It's something they putting out there to dupe us into taking something else, the jab. That's what they wanted. So they scare you to get to what they want. You're a little kid in the backyard playing. You don't want to come inside. It got dark. You still want to play. Come on inside. It's time to go to bed. Oh, I don't want to go inside. Daddy ain't around. He working late. So the mother says, well, listen, you can stay out there, but just make sure that little red-eyed demon that's out there hanging out there, just make sure to, let them know that I send them my regards. What? What? Yeah, you didn't hear about the monster that's walking around? He's got these red glowing eyes. You'll see him in a little while because he comes out every day. That kid knocks the door down, knocks it down. It swings out. He knocks it and it's swinging and pop, 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 pop. So they use their psyche on us. If they say go left, we need to go right. If they say go right, we need to go left. If they act friendly with us, we got to say to ourselves, why are you acting friendly? What you want from me? There's something up your sleeve because you hate us so much. And the ones who claim to love us don't make a noise at all when these things happen, or they get their dark glasses and they protest behind signs. They want to be seen. I hate that. I'm drinking, and there's always a little bit left that defeats me. I'm gonna get it. But like I said, you know, we go to this place that we think we should trust to get ourselves well from the sicknesses that they put on us, from the deficient foods that we're eating and things that rob us of nutrients to keep our defenses up. And we run right to the very devil to get the toxic things in our body that we think is making us better. Never will they say or suggest anything holistic. I remember there's a white man years ago. Used to listen to him all the time. They have some of them that will bring some things forward and they'll kill him off too. They didn't kill him. I think he's still alive. But who remembers Gary Null? Gary Null, N-U-L-L. Google it. White man. Said a lot of good things. He was against the medical industry. And then I began to understand that those who were in the medical industry who wanted to go hedonistic, holistic. A lot of them were doing hedonistic things up in them offices and them doctors' offices, right? But Freudian stuff, that's funny, right? But holistic things, and they left it alone and spoke against what was going on in the medical industry. A lot of them were killed mafia style, but the press didn't touch it. How many of you all remember that? It wasn't just like within a small period of time. It's probably still going on, but I read this article that had over 25 cases of people who were higher up in that system who turned against it. And it wasn't before long with family men. We're talking about like not just he caught a bullet or it looked like a robbery. No, shot between the eyes, head chopped off, whatever. Like, we gonna send you a message. Well, we ain't gonna send you the message. We're gonna use you to send the message, because we're gonna send the message to anybody who wants to defect from this order where we can make so much money keeping people sick. I've spoken to a gazillion people who never wanted to come online. Some who were doctors and higher ups, and they would tell me things. Nurse Navaya, we have to protect her. She tells it like it is. She is deep in the medical industry, and I'm going to say it again, what happened to her. I'm going to say it again. Look for that video. I'll find it, but it's not too long ago. Nurse Navaya. She was in a Facebook private so-called group chat room one morning. It was on a break early in the morning. It wasn't an 8-hour shift she was doing. It was more like 12 or something long like that. So she did a couple hours. She was on break, and she checked into this private, closed Facebook group chat room. And they were speaking about the C-19 and other things, and people along her level of intelligence inside. She's more qualified than a nurse. She's doing nursing at the highest level. But basically, I will say without saying a name, because I know her personally, but she had studied so long to be a heart specialist, and she is that. Brilliant. So working as a nurse, I'm not going to say is lowly, but it's good. But for her particular situation, which I know personally, trust me, it makes sense. So with her being as brilliant as she is in that area of expertise, she's watched. So they were talking some deep stuff that only really these type of medical professionals will know, because they're talking deep. There's nothing that we couldn't get the concept of, but they were flying with the words because they know this thing. And so she got off. She was finished. And before it was time for her to go, she was called up into this administrative office where there was, you know, because she moves around a lot, let's just say it that way, in that field. So this was somebody she wasn't acquainted with. And they had her sit down and they asked her, you know, you were in this private Facebook group chat room earlier on the shift, and it was your time. So we're not talking about that. You can do safely within what you want to do in your time. But you were talking about X, Y, and Z. But we're not going to have any kind of dispute about it because, and they reached down, they got a printout of her whole conversation and the other people from Facebook. Who did this? She's being watched. And they had enough time within that shift to print it up, contact the admin, and because she didn't say the name of the facility she worked in and other particulars that could identify her, where she worked and whatever, she wasn't whistleblowing. She was just talking about certain things that she didn't believe in, even though she was in that and not administering things to people, because she would not do that. She has so much integrity, but there were things that she did that she never knew that it was really wrong at that time for the body that she did, but she backed off of it. And that's one of the reasons why she backed off from that heart thing, right? So she do the minor stuff that was like, you know, you're a nurse. What is it? RN, and you got the, whatever, she was the top thing, and even bigger than that. But they're watching her like that. They're watching all of us. Even us here. We're not supposed to be talking about stuff like this. That video clip should just be amusement. Say, oh, ha, ha, ha. They want to take one of the eggs and whatever. They ain't going to have me as a quack. No, it ain't. They doing it. They want your energy. Like I said, I'm going to get into the quackery. I'm going to get into the quackery right now. You're going to think I'm crazy. I'm not holding back no more. I got a doo-doo so bad, I'm pulling my pants down right now and doing it and looking you in the eye. And if I have to push, you're going to see the vein in my neck. But I'm going and I'm done. You hold yours now and be miserable. I don't have to front no more. In my short years, which are long years on some levels and short years when you look at eternity, there's some things that you just already know. What was a commercial years ago? One look and you know, one look and you know. You know what I mean? I used to say that about gay men. One look and you know. You just know that you know that you know. And what I know, I can't prove it. But in my heart, I know that's what it is. Some of these people, man, like that guy on that clip, he's the middleman for something else. Who he deals with is not from this planet. Who he deals with is not from this realm. These are evil individuals who are dying out. And they need your life force to survive. That's why they want to keep you sexed up and sexed out. They talk about this word sucking. I don't know nobody who don't like to be sucked right. But they love sucking even more because they're sucking more than your cum. They are sucking your life force. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. Let's not make no mistakes on what I'm saying. It's too late in the night or early in the morning for me. I'm going to go to bed soon. I'm not going to say, well, let's talk about it. And 3 hours later, you're sitting here like, oh, man. No, that's what it is. They want to keep you amped up sexually because that's an easy way to getting in on what you have on a spiritual level. Because a lot of spiritual things happen during sex. And I talk about sex a lot because in my life, I had a lot of sex and I know what's going on because I've noticed things in the situations that I've been in. I've had a lot of variety of different kinky, twisted, freakish sex. Being raised up in a home where you know spirituality and you venture out and experiment with these things and you're like, whoa, you're doing it now. Yeah, I want to try that, but yeah, I know what's going on, but you ain't trying to hear that thing because you're young and you want to try things out. Demonic energy swirling around unrighteous sex. Sex in a committed relationship, there's nothing unrighteous about it. the evil can't get in. Don't mean you have to have the white man's piece of paper, but you commit to me and I commit to you, and that's just the way it's going to be. That's our marriage. They make it, they make a business out of it. Well, now you want to get divorced, and now you're going to have to pay a lawyer and pay us and pay. What I do in my bedroom and in my life should not involve a demon and a parasite. I got to come to you for validation. Do I have to come to you to have permission to have a baby? When I let off and I'm deep inside and that womb is bringing it up? Oh, hold on. We got to go downtown and let them know we had sex and we know you're pregnant right now. No, but they put themselves in your way to capitalize off of that. Just the same way on a spiritual level, they suck from your life force. That's why they're fascinated with being involved with us sexually and around. Like they said, we want some of that. And the guy in the video, we want some of that. They want that life force. They want that essence. But their cup has holes in it. So they catch a little bit of it. They hold it a little bit. It drops right out. Because they're never going to get it, never going to get it, never going to get it. A woo-hoo-hoo. But that doesn't mean they're not going to try. You have white women whose husbands are not too far away. I've been propositioned many times in my life. Got a little older, a little more raggedy, big head, little chubby body, lost my muscle. Nobody comes to me like that no more. But they know not to. I've been in swingers clubs. I've been in sex parties, private parties. I used to throw parties of my own. You go to the public or the open things, you're going to have all kind of mixed races. You know how many of them wanted to drink my seed? And we're talking about not even in places like this, just you walking down the street. You see a woman get out. You just went in the store and she comes out, she dressed like, what the hell going on? You see the brothers in there, hell no. Like, what is she? Yo, man, that lady's titties are hanging out, man. Look at that dress so short. And she hangs with them guys and propositions them. And here they are giving up their seed. You can't tell me these people ain't vampires. We all have our little kinks and stuff like that. But they think it's their lucky day because they got a white woman to suck them. And they don't realize what they really gave up. Not just a little load of protein that feels good coming out. But they got something out of you because, like the man said, we want some of that. Let's just use our imaginations. I'm not saying this, right? The same white lady that with her so-called husband that sat out in the car and watched this happen, and he beaten off with his little weak seed. They hop in the car and they turn the corner and it turns into a spaceship and goes somewhere else with your seed. See, we got to worry and concern ourselves where we're putting our seed. In this world, we can't just lay down with anybody, have children with anybody, because it might be hell in dealing with that woman. I'm not saying women are hell, not against them, but it may not be the right match. Lust is taking you to a place where you are committed, where you both have kids, and now you're going through hell when the both of you see what's coming out. It could be the man that's the jacked up part. We have to see the value of our wombs, your eggs, and my seed. This is serious business that we'll replicate ourselves, but if we can't have the time to share the wisdom and the love and nurture, we're busy fighting and we're neglecting them. You have to know your place in this world. Man, you can't throw your seed everywhere. Sisters, you can't crack your legs open because the guy is cute and got a six-pack and tells you how much he loves you and he has potential. You got to know this is an investment. But we give it up to these damn doctors who want to probe our bodies. We go in, we say that we're sick, we don't feel right. We trust them. They come up with this diagnosis where we have to take these things and come back and poke and probe on our body. We don't know what they're doing. How about the one that was a gynecologist that carved his initials inside the wombs of these different people? We taking this thing life and death serious, and they playing games with us. Where are those thousands and thousands of missing girls, thousands and thousands of missing Black children who have fresh young organs, who have innocent life force, not tainted like mine, who has seen so much, but I'm very aware they don't want mine. They want that young, innocent, fresh stuff to take their organs, to take their life force, to use them for their sexual, demonic, spiritual rituals when they sacrifice them and murder them, and the energy that's released at that particular point, and they start having sex. These are secret things that go on in all the major cities of the world, and especially the United States of America. I never saw nothing like that with murder, but I have peeked into some worlds. I'm like, whoa, I don't want to see no more where this is going. These S&M things, I was never into that. I made a little money in that world, smacking people up. You all know that from the other shows. But I explored a lot and talked to different people and found myself peeking through doors that I really didn't want to go through and open, and realized there was much more to these things than sex. These are cults with satanic worship, the theft of innocent energy, rituals, and some of these white folks that act so nice to you, and some of us who are black, who are down with that because they're seeking favor in their world. Just like you have secret handshake groups in the black communities and the badges on the back of the car, and the secrets that are kept. There are other worlds and other levels where there are secrets that are kept and things that are not being revealed. And you're standing in front of them or behind them in the supermarket, they tell them, hi, how are you? And that's a demon you're looking at right there. You don't know what they did the night before, whose blood they drank, who brought the blood that they drank, and where did that blood come from? I remember being in the company of many people who were erotically inclined to do what they wanted to do. And I felt things. No, I ain't feel nothing physical. I wasn't doing nothing. But I felt things around me. And I saw things. I saw 10, 15 people on the ground doing their thing. I was more private, but I was there. I was just, damn, look at this. If AIDS was in this one, they all entangled. It's going to travel all through it. But I used to think weird stuff. I'm like, okay, that one, I'm not having them come near me. But with all of this energy swirling, it's just like being in the cookout and you have good food sitting under the table, not covered. Here come the flies to take from this food that you have, right? Now, this wasn't food that was righteous. They were bending the rules, getting caught up in their lust. But when I looked and saw two black shadow figures walking through and slowed down, just walked right through and right to the back wall. And he turned and looked and oh, snap. I didn't want to see what was going on. And that was one of the parties I threw. I kind of hung the outskirts. Y'all all right? Okay. I got to stop this. Again, without getting too lewd, I was with the company of several young ladies. It was a blizzard. We were locked in. And all of the activity was going on in front of me. And I was indulging. And I knew who was there. But something was going on behind me. Like they were, I said, hey, this thing feels pretty good. Who is, everybody's here. Wasn't nothing behind me. What was that? I don't get high, I don't drink, I don't do these things. This is stuff I know. This is why certain things I done left alone. Over here dropping stuff. Sitting here, the fan is turned, making shadows. I'm looking. No, I'm not a scary person like that. There are times I've seen things here and I talk to it like, yo, y'all need to get out of here. I'm sick of y'all. You don't belong here. You ain't scaring me. I got spirit fists. Now, you think I'm gonna hit you with my human fist, my flesh fist? No, they'll miss, go right through you. I shadow box you in the spirit, little bastards. Go back. You know? Yeah. So that, you know, as we go through our life, Some of us will be exposed to certain things on higher levels and lower levels and different frequencies that are there. Some of us won't. Some of us have a propensity to see more. We will see more when we get to the next levels. But if you can only imagine what's around you, that when you open up on a sexual level, be careful, because that's one of the favorite ways of transmission of spiritual energies and life force that they take from you. It is a very, very important thing to know. How many times have you been with, I'm not saying you've been with 50 million people, but you've been with, if it was one person, it might be the one person. But it's someone new that you've been with. And it was a very nice experience. But you feel drained. And this is something that's not physical. I got up to lay back down. I didn't come out the house the next day after it went down. And when it was time to get up and go to work, I ain't want to do that. I called out and just laid there. What the hell did he or she, I'm saying she, maybe a woman saying he, I'm not saying he. What the hell did she put on me? It may not be where she was evil and into things, but she may have had a weakness on a sexual level that allowed other forces to come into her and use her as a conduit to get to you. So now you drained by what came through her. And the energy that you were feeling was not just hers. It blew your mind, didn't it? But she was being used. Like that little Lester the Clown, the little puppet, little black puppet to sit on the lap. You get that little split, and you got the ventriloquist sitting there moving it. You looking at the puppet. Oh, damn, she looked good. I can't wait. And you give in, and you feeling this thing. Damn, she got some kind of energy and force, and you enjoying it. And it could be something that looks so damn ugly that you laying up with, that you can't see. That's the way it works. So now you got to look at all aspects, because sometimes these situations look very good and pretty, and you get duped. Like I say, there's many ways of transferring the energy, but the freest way that we give it up is through sex play, sexuality, and sex. And I say sex play. You got your battery operated boyfriend at night. You just, you ain't got no man right now. You don't even bother with the one you got. You ain't calling him. You take care of business yourself. Bzzz, bzzz. And you feel so good. But you don't know how many entities are around you in that room that you can't see, that you're giving them all you can eat. And I ain't talking about eating that way. That might be the portal for your pleasure, but what you're giving off. Because orgasm is life force and it's energy. And when it's not righteous and contained within that union, it's splaying out all over the place. And here they go, ooh, fill my cup. They giving it away for free. Oh, I can see 3 houses down through the walls. They about to get busy. They creeping. Dude, that's going to be a good meal. Let's go on, take our spirit bodies and go on over there. You can call me crazy. I'm just saying it. And the very thing you like, the very fetishes you have, the very things, then all of a sudden, after looking a little bit of porn, and you telling them, they look, oh, that's what you like. Oh. You look at it one after the other under that category, and you run into it 3 days later. And it's something or someone that messes up your life. All because you were drawn to them on such a basic level. And you wanted that thing that hit your brain so much. We look down on people who take drugs, but what about the sexuality? We have our hormones, we have our imaginations and our genitals, and we abuse them like they're drugs. Just because you want to get a hit of that dopamine through the orgasm. Fall out. We hook more on the orgasm than anything else. We'll grab any old body and get some friction just to get to that point. But you're joining on to that person. You don't realize it. It's an overload at first and it feels good. When them soul ties start tugging on you, and that other person feels evil, like they want to murder somebody, and you get up joyous and start to feel evil a little bit. Or they're confused, the other person you laid with, and now you feel that, and you feel this, and you got all these lines connected to you, and a mixture of all these moods because you done laid down so quick, but you didn't really take time to get rid of the soul ties with these various individuals. So imagine an imaginary cable going all the way. You in New York and they move to South America, long cable going way down to South America, connecting yourself with them. And then as they're connected to other people you don't know, it's coming from them into you. This way you walking around all confused half the time. And they tell you bipolar. No, you got too many damn soul ties you didn't cut. And ain't no amount of medication is going to do spiritual work for you. That's what we don't realize. Think of it that way. You passing strangers in the street and connected to them because they're connected to somebody that was connected to somebody 6 degrees of separation. And you know you straight. This ain't my experience. But you got men out there who start having tendencies, homosexual tendencies, because they connected to a woman who was with a man who was, and you connected to the man. Because you're going to have some kind of connection to it. You're a man and you're going to have connection. It ain't just women. Well, we're not going to soul tie. That woman laid down with that man, so you're going to feel the things that he's feeling, and you a man. That man may like sucking dicks. You may start looking at things, and I don't know why I'm looking. They ain't me. I know what I am. But some people don't know how this works. Don't know where it's coming from. Energy. And these genetic parasites have no problem with any of those energies. They want you on all of those levels. They want you tied in because it's like a multi-level marketing spiritual life force thing. Oh, you're tied into 500 people. Great. So we're getting 500 for the price of one. So they love when you're promiscuous. You can fool the world. Yes, I go to church every Sunday and I believe in the Lord and so and so and so and so. And you raising hell at night. Raising hell. I know people who dated women and they go down and taste. And what is this? Yo, this is some man's cum. What you got me doing? Now, I ain't go through that, but a lot of fellas have confessed to me. I found out somebody in the neighborhood here. I ain't gonna say no names. Empress G, you there? You know what I'm talking about. All over the place. And that's why on certain levels, Ghana's Aquaba, welcome, my brother. This is so sexually suppressive. And we have the religious thing we have to uphold, but they screwing like rabbits. Acting holy in the day and horny at night. Now it's a natural thing. But they have to maintain their facade. I heard the preacher out there by the Accra Mall. I told Empress G about it. How he said, listen, mothers, you're going to have to stop screwing your sons. This is a lot of y'all. Fathers, you're going to have to stop screwing your daughters. I was like, I ain't never heard nothing like this. I mean, we know these things go on. But the attitudes and practices, I'm not saying everybody does that here. But for some people who act so holy, look at when I'm walking on the street with the videotape, look at all these babies. I can't repeat the song that I made up when I was working in the jail. Remember that song? The whole damn world is country. Doom, 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 doom. Well, everybody in the jail, most people were having some kind of affair. I used to say, the whole damn jail is effing. Well, it seemed like over here where I live, that I'm settled down more, I'm noticing more like, whoa. I'm in a small apartment building right now. There's 4 units here. And I got my garbage there after the show's over. I take it out. And I went to the side, down the driveway, and to the back. They have a little area where they just burn the garbage. You put it there and they just burn it every few days. And I heard this noise. It's quiet. You know, when you're inside, you hear a little electronic noise and TVs. You go outside, it's all quiet. I heard, what the hell is this? As I got closer to the back, peripheral vision. I see a chick up against the wall. They had a pillar next to them, so they're kind of covered. It was dark. Nobody goes back there. Homeboy was, they both looked at me. They stopped, or they were doing some maintenance moves, some slow stuff like, we ain't going. What was I going to do? Don't do this part. This is a sin. I dumped my garbage. Now it's like, I looked at him again, and they were just chicka. Because out here, it's not like, well, let's go and get a hotel room. Some of the poor people who are poor, they ain't doing that. They're like, see that construction going on over there? They got them little rooms that are open. Let's pull your dress up. Let's just go on over there and do a little something. They do it. But you have a lot of wickedness here also. I see all the, I'm not even looking, but let me put this chat room on the actual phone so I can see it closer. I see a lot of people laughing. Chat room on the actual phone. Okay, Mysterious and Voy. Yeah. We mix a lot of humor in it. And we flow, we stay on top, and we go off. Nobody stays between the lines when they're driving on the highway. There's sometimes you got to go, not the highway, the street, over the double yellow line and get back. You got to watch out for what's coming. But nobody wants to talk about these things. And these genetic parasites who are pissed off that they're recessive, they can't create us. We can create them. Like again, I say, you can get the recessive from the dominant, but you can't get the dominant from the recessive. And they hate that fact. They're recessive. They're weaker. They're watered down. This is not some black superiority talk. This is fact. But we're supposed to say, no, God loves us. No, the Creator don't love all of us. Because some of us are mischievous in going against the order of righteousness. So stop that all-inclusive, kumbaya, bring them on in type thing. You keep these people away from you. And like it said in the chat room, who just said that? Oh, the 1%, that 1%, we must protect our energies. Again, we're like the football player on the field who has the ball running for the touchdown. The whole other team is trying to get us for that ball to stop us from making the touchdown that the whole team will enjoy the victory. We make the touchdown, we get the credit for it, but the whole team wins. Every time one of us protects our energy and defeats the enemy, we all feel a resurgence of more power. Let's try to stop and block up the holes in our personal buckets so our energy doesn't drain out. It's all about the energy. It's all about the energy, baby. Doom, 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 doom. Not the Benjamins. Yeah, we need that in their system. But it's all about our energy. Again, I'm going to say it again. We go to work. We give our life force, and they reward us with paper. The dead manifestation of our life force. Our life force is vibrant. It's a currency and a current that flows, and we make their businesses come alive, and we work hard for them, thinking that we'll get a higher position and we'll get more money. And yes, even when you get more money, that's all you got is a piece of paper that's worth nothing that the world for now acknowledges. And stop saying you're going out there, I'm going to make some money. You do not make money. You don't make money. The only one that makes money is the government, who prints up more of it. And the more of it that's in circulation is the weaker. The one that you have is less. There's not a limited edition of money where, oh, I have this money, so I know I hope. No, they'll play you. It's like monopoly money. It's like holding a bucket of water. You got to walk 5 miles. By the time you get to where you're going, there ain't no warm water in the bucket. So when you get it, you better do something with it. You hold on to it. It's diminishing. Your life force has been traded off. And when you're smart enough to realize that, you become the enemy, because you'll unlock the minds of the other people who are caught up in the system, who want to get out. They don't even know they want to get out really conscious, but they know that this is not it. Like there's something wrong. There's something not right. I'm not supposed to be living this life. This is 2022 and back in the 1970s when I was a young teenager. And I said, man, by the time I get to that age, I should have this and have. And I wasn't just focused on material, but the joy I felt as a teenager, young teenager, and even single digit ages coming up through pubescence, having a Mike Tyson moment. I'm having a Mike Tyson moment. Into these ages and the sun shining bright and I'm happy and I have the music in my soul. Most of us get to a certain age, like, oh God, I feel so dead. Oh, let me just go lay down. I'll be happy if I can just lay down all weekend. Friends call you up, yeah, okay, next week. You keep doing the next week until so many decades go by and you get the call that they're dead. And you next week yourself into the 50s and 60s and 70s, if you make it that far, and you realize that you wasted your time in a system that didn't give a damn about you. You better be glad I said damn and not the F word. I'm not a person who cusses. I have a pretty good vocabulary. I'm like Mort Meek of Chips Ahoy Cookies who reads the dictionary in my spare time. Remember that? Mort Meek from Chips Ahoy Cookies. You know, homeboy didn't get no play. He didn't have to worry about no soul ties. Homeboy, he was reading the dictionary. He didn't care about no woman's backside. Gluteus maximus. Let me look this up. That's all he did. Sometime you might be better off and hold back, because when you maintain your energies and protect it, you'll guarantee that when you budget your energies, the right people will always come to you. When you don't budget your energies and give it out and just give it up so easy, we're not just talking sex now. We're talking about anything. Oh, no problem. No. And you believe the smiling faces sometimes pretend to be your friend. And you hitched up with all these people who are going to waste your time and waste your energy. It's not just the soul time. It's like boxing. Protect yourself at all times, especially from these parasites, especially in these hospitals, especially in these schools where you take your kids and let the enemy put stuff in their head, like I said the night before, to the point where you come home from work or you're together on the weekend with your children, they 12 and 13 years old, you look at them like, I don't know you. Where you get that mannerism from? You laughing at how'd you know that? Strangers. There's a stranger in my house. And all the good stuff that we had for free, that we thought that were going to be there, we traded in our connectedness to the righteous system, the creative system, the unit, whatever you want to call it, that natural thing that takes care of all our needs. We traded in for this thing, this lion, recessive genetic parasite who wants to be a god, if I can use that word. I don't mean in the European sense, but I'm saying a God beside God. And we turn our attention off of nature and the biggest manifestation of the God force in our lives that comes through nature. Go out in nature for a day. You'll always come back with some more wisdom because you'll see something. And it will teach you something in your stillness, observing that perfect order of nature. But when you get into the engineered system of man, you get more stupid. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm just saying you get more stupid. You get more numb. You get more disconnected. You can't navigate no more. You don't hear that inner voice that when you think of doing something, you hear this thing. It may not be a voice you hear, but you may think it's your thoughts and you reason with yourself and say, no, I think I better do it this way. No, I won't go to this particular. I'm going to go shopping. I have to go to several stores. I think it's wise to go to this one first and not that one. And you find that a semi 18-wheeler truck, 18-wheeler rammed into this building. Oh, I was supposed to be there around that time. But the more you listen to the oppressor's voices, the less you're going to hear that voice. And he don't love you. That inner voice, that God force, that God voice. And I'm not talking about the European gods. I'm just saying that for brevity purposes to not get, well, you shouldn't say God, you should say Yahshua. I'm not going to nitpick with y'all. We're spiritual beings. And we're having a human experience. And in the human experience, so many of us get caught up in what we see around us. And we miss the point. And we thinking about the now. And that recessive genetic parasite is thinking about the later and how he can get there. He'll blind you with the trinkets of this earth and the world that he made. And you busting your ass so hard to get that. And he's already thinking about the next level that he's not supposed to be able to get to. But you see more value in getting that luxury car, working all those hours, and I can get more money. I'll give him one of my eggs and he'd give me $100. He's trying to find his way up to that level that he doesn't have the wings to fly to. You got wings like a mother and they strapped down. And you mad walking, knowing you're made to fly, but you don't fly because you've traded it in. We're afraid to excel away from them because we want their validation all the time. I don't need their validation when I moved and left. They finding out, oh, guy, I didn't know you went to Africa. Why did you go there? So I can get away from you. I feel more comfortable here. I belong here. I belong anywhere in the damn planet I want to go, but I like it here. And the man-made system that's here may have certain holes in it and deficiencies, but overall, I love it where I don't have to keep my guard up. There's a mall, a small mall not too far from here, and they got restaurants in there. Very nice place. Maybe some of you have seen little Instagram things I put up, whatever. And I just got up and had my slippers, some shorts, and put on a t-shirt and walked up there. Saw the people that know me. Hi, how you doing, son? Cops were coming up, rolled up real slow. Hey, my brother, how you feel? I said, I'm good, man. Take care. Bless you, brother. Have a good night. Wasn't the anal retention. Hey, what are you doing around here? I live here. Got up against the wall. It's like, oh man, am I going to die now? I love it. There's certain guards. If you've ever boxed, you know that the first round or two, if you're in kind of good shape, but the next few rounds, it's hard to keep your hands up. And in America, you better keep your hands up and keep your defense tight. You know? And drop my guard. I'm good. That's why I can resonate from within with certain vibes that come to me. Notice the energy of these live shows that I do. Talking, like we on the corner talking. I was wound up in America. I'm still wound up when I think about the things that are there. Don't get me wrong. But I'm attaining a higher degree of self-awareness. See? Beautiful thing. Sister Mia Meow, our phones kind of messed up, and I will say honestly, okay, we have the show in the chat room here, as you can see. But this screen now, this is the phone that I had since late 2017. It's been to Jamaica with me. It's been to Ghana the first time on the first trip, dropped it, broke it, fixed it, dropped it. Sometimes the screen gets black. And if I hit the side buttons, it doesn't come on. So somebody will be ringing. I don't even know who it is. And I can't even slide I don't see nothing. Then I got to cut the phone off and on and it works again. We're going to take care of that in a few short months. I'll roll with this for now, right? So for many who may call me, I may not know. Because it's doing this more and more, see? But I'll get something better soon. Another couple months, guaranteed. Because see, I work a phone hard, y'all. I mean, this online stuff, this is my little office in my pocket. So it's not just fun and games, checking a few emails. I'm doing some things. The phone's like, yo, man, give me a break. We're going to break on you. We're going to get a forced rest. With the Black African woman and man, like that man said in the video, we are the shiznik. And we have the power and don't realize it. And the only way they can go higher is if they can ride our backs or snatch off the wings we have, leaving us where we can't fly, holding on to what they have deemed to be the earthly paradise. I've said parasite so much, I almost said earthly parasite. I mean, the earthly paradise of their creation that they take credit for, but it's really us that did it. Even in that, that's like us making and creating a noose. The enemy says, make a noose for me. We make it and they go hang us with it. We built their reality. Now we're trapped in their reality. And it's the noose that chokes us off. Isn't that something? And they look to us secretly to guide them. And we always give them our secrets. For those of you who are in deeply in the spiritual arts, that's all I'll say. Oh, this girl talking about voodoo. Well, I ain't talking about that Christianity that's just as bad as nooses around our neck. But for those of you who are deep into the spiritual arts on a righteous level, not some joker putting an ad in the paper, I will bring you money, I will bring you back the loved one, I will get revenge on your enemies. When you start talking like that, then there's something else. But the all-powerful thing that we have that's connected to the vast universe, that millions of light years away, those spiritual laws still work. That thing. We got to stop giving away our secrets. We got to stop giving away everything. We got to have times when we talk amongst each other in private and really share our stuff. And we have to vet those who are around us on that level. We can't even trust everybody who looks like us, because some of them are paid to run back to tell the others what our thing is. Like I said, on these documentaries, where you see different spiritual practices that are not ordained by the white man, they always find themselves up in there, got the little stuff on, and you know what I mean? I'm not making fun, right? But they in it. And those clowns who may know a little bit of something are giving them our secrets. Stop letting them in the door to teach them our secrets so they can use it as a noose around our neck, and use it, if you're going to use it at all, to break us free and destroy that oppressive system that has no life in it for us, but it will take our life from us to sustain them. How about that? How about that? We're so glad to let them in. We're so glad to get their validation. They trying to dance to our drum beats. They ain't got no rhythm. White women looking down on black men in the so-called civilized parts. That's what they say. Oh, I'm from the UK. You're from America. Yeah, well, this other third world. Third world? You the third world. Because without our force and life force, you can't even survive. And we were here first. You want to call us third world. That's like somebody you invite in your house as a guest, and they start telling you what to do in your house. You wake up the next morning, well, Lance, it's nice that you had me over, but I'll let you know that you can't stay here anymore. What you talk about? This is my house. That's how they are. They deal in stolen goods, and they act like it's theirs. They come here and jack up America and tell other people, go back to where you came from. Well, go back to where you came from, if you know where that is. And from what I'm hearing, the accommodations in them freezing cold caves you came from, beating up on your woman and having sex with each other as men, that wasn't too cool now, wasn't it? What was it when they had taken all the inmates out to jail in England, and they had this one area where they had so many white prostitutes and brought them out to West Virginia? That's a fact. But they don't tell you that. Australia, full of them. But they're so proud, and they rewire and rewrite their history and want to call you a jungle bunny, want to call you a spear chucker. I call him there's one guy called me a spear chucker on the bus. I said, he ain't gonna get away with that because I'm quick with the mouth. I said, you non-ass wiper. He had to figure it out. What do you mean by that, guy? I said, well, you had to wait to get around us before you had a toilet and had running water and learn how to wipe your ass. You still don't know. Get out of here. I'm going to call your supervisor. What you going to tell him? I'm looking for a reason. Help me collect some unemployment, and I still have a retirement coming. I'll get it both ways. Do me a favor. Do me a favor like I never been done before. That lady, Melissa Morgan, used to live a few blocks away from me. I think she lived on 132nd off 116th Avenue. Some friends of mine that lived on that block used to see her walking her dog every morning. And I had saw the back of her going in this. They said, there she going. I just saw the hair, the big hair. I was like, wow, some talent in my neighborhood. Exactly. What you say? Flintstone bloodline gotta go square biz. Queen Marat, love you. Love everybody here. We wait a second. Let me see how much time it was. Dog. At the hour mark, I was like, I'll talk for a little while longer. Now it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. I'm not mad at that. I'm not timing everything. We're flowing. My energy levels are going down, but my imagination is going up. So I'm gonna come out with some more zany things, but I'm gonna wrap it down in a few. My throat. Ain't nothing wrong with me, just, you know. Woo! I'm gonna get greedy. I'm gonna know there's nothing left in that bad boy. Yeah, but I'm gonna check another title tomorrow night because I'm not really even finished with this one. There's certain points I'm gonna lay in the bed. Oh man, I should have talked about it. I'm not gonna bring back the same exact title, but I'm gonna do something because I make these titles up on how I feel and then run with it. You know, I mean, I shoot from the hip. I will bring some facts. I know Sister Beatrice Noel is the most excellent researcher. She's gonna bring you facts. I'm gonna bring you facts, but it's a little bit of experience and facts that we all know that we heard and we have researched before. But we just talking, you know. It's like we ran into each other in the supermarket parking lot. And we just talking right now, so it's not like, well, I have to prove this to you. Let's run to the library. No, girl, you ain't got to do that. I heard that before, and I know that, you know. But it's good to do the research because when the pink parasite comes around and tries to dispute you on certain things, always trying to pull you one way or another. You talking to your people and they bring up something stupid. And some of us are so stupid too. Always want to change the subject. You see the flow going a certain way. That's like a dog out there, ain't bothering nobody. Two of them having sex and I start throwing rocks. And when you want to mess them up, they feeling good. Let them do their thing. People always want to come around and throw rocks on your flow, mess you up. They see you getting to somebody on a righteous level and they want to come and confront you now because they get mad. Because the truth that you're saying is upsetting them and making them see reality for what it is, and they see how jacked up it is. Seriously. It is what it is, you know? But Annie Tub 3, I'll stay for a few minutes, you know? It's nice to feel wanted and loved. Just make sure y'all are still truly subscribed. And if you are subscribed, unsubscribe, don't run away now, and subscribe back. And hit the bell icon to get all the notifications because my numbers are stuck. They playing them games. They doing that thing with me, that shadow ban thing. It's not going to stop me. But just always know that when you can't see me here, if they suspended me or canceled me for a couple of weeks because of something I said, oh, your banner had a woman on there that's half naked, but she's covered. But she's a black woman with a beautiful shape. Right? Some old flat white woman is not pornographic, as you would say. Why is it pornographic? Because you thinking along them lines. I see a beautiful sister with an in-shaped body. What are you thinking about? Oh, I'd love to lose myself in a luscious black this and that. I got to have it. Like that man on the video said. Let me play it again. Let me play it again.
So technology computerized resting animals called SCNT, which takes the egg of a young, fertile woman specimen, takes the egg and takes out the nucleus, puts our D.N.A. in the nucleus, and just go in and take it out. It's painful, right? And this is part of this genetic greatness that we don't see in any other race on the planet. These curvy, sexy black women from Africa. You girls have a kind of a monopoly on this genetic perfection. Black women from Africa. You girls have a kind of a monopoly on this genetic perfection. And we want some of that.
We want some of that. I can see them in the corporate world. You know, here we are on the top of this company, and you know, we've been married for so many years. We're making well over the six figures. We're making in the 300,000. Bill, you're making $500,000. But I don't think it's fair. The guys who are working maintenance here, picking up the trash, the guys who are making a job, they're down there, they're not getting paid anything. They're poor, but they're in the mailroom working. Do you see some of these women that come to pick them up? Do you see the luscious bodies that they have and how they? And I looked at my wife and I said, "What is it? I'm making all of this money, and then she's so flat I can roll up. There's a mosquito. I'm gonna get his ass. Did I get him? Nah. See, the mosquito know the show's over soon too. He's like, we can't wait for you to go to sleep. We gonna bite your ass up. We saw you were eating good today. No, you're not. I got mosquito tricks up in here. Anyway, excuse the outburst, right? But they even jealous of that. See, you can't have nothing as a black man or woman. They gotta have it. We want some of that. That's not even just about what the man was saying. It's anything we have. They think we're like little children. They have to take it from us, and we know what's best for you. Get out of our country. Get out of our world. We don't want you. We don't need you. The only thing we need you is for chaos and confusion, and we don't want that. When are we going to learn that when we're left in our natural state, away from their poisons and their toxins and their mentalities and their suggestions on how we should live, putting doubt in a little kid's mind, you have the right to be trans. The only trans I liked in the 70s was a group named Kraftwerk that had the song Trans Europe Express, do 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 do. That was a precursor to Planet Rock. Do 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 do. It was a European group that they used to play the block parties, man. That song was dope. I used to train off of that song and it zoned me out. I was like a machine. I use their lower vibrations for my purposes because I'm the dominant. You food for me. How are you going to try to cook me and make me food for you, and you the weak, watered down? You're not even a version of me. You're a stepping stone. You're below me. See, when they come with their condescending attitudes and you look at them and you think these things, the nerve of you. How you going to think you better than me and I'm the closest thing to Superman on a mental, spiritual, and physical that you ever seen? I don't need no steroids, y'all. If I want to get my body back like that, all I got to do is think it and go through the motions because I done did it before. That's within my reach, even at my age. I don't need no steroids. I don't need no somatotrophic growth hormone. I don't need no STH. I don't need no trenbolone. I don't need no decadurabolin. I don't need no Anavar. I don't need no Dianabol. I don't need no Winstrol. For those who think I didn't know about, I didn't take them drugs. I was around with them dudes. I knew all the drugs, the half-life, how they work, how to stack them. I was brilliant with that. Never did it. I was around it so much. And I was still natural. So I don't need any kind of artificial anything. I just have to go within myself. And that's what I suggest. Yeah, you said by crayon. Yeah, I'll say the adult version that makes them scared. Thank you, Sister Colleen. Thank you. Excuse me for being so lewd, but when I speak to these insecure yet condescending white men, I say, you don't realize. I forgot about that saying. I'm going to try to put that on the shirt. And you know, men, when men talk, they got to be a little rough with each other sometime. I say, man, I know why you're insecure about me. Because my dick is a crayon and the world is a coloring book. It may sound a little lewd, but listen to that. My dick is a crayon and the world is a coloring book. I'm going to color in this world. We're not just talking about the penis. We're talking about the life force. Because they fear the black penis, not because it's a mere penis, because if it's a penis without this head, it means nothing. But like I said the other night, what if me and a sister get together? Or even what they fear. I'm not saying yay, I'm not saying yay. but you have an agreement with 5 sisters to build, and your dick really don't have nothing to do with it. Let's take it out of the equation. And you're only sexual, well, let's just say that. But you keep yourself as a family with 4 other women, and you all help each other, and you all build an empire together, not based on the basic, but resources and multiplying your true wealth. We're not talking money, but your value. Now let's take it apart and say it's not women with one man at the head. We're not even saying nothing about no head. Head's not a bad thing, but we're not talking about that kind of head. But say we all treated each other as family and with unity. That's the end of the rule that they have over us in their world. That's the end. If we really treated each other that way, but you know what? We're going to be forced to do it by when we see some of us who didn't comprehend on the evil that they have for us, and we're going to be forced into it, and we're going to feel stupid because it's going to help us, those of us who wake up, and we're going to say to ourselves, why didn't we do this years before? It would have been so much easier. Some of the sisters, they say, I was running to the daycare center to pick up my child on time so I didn't have to pay that $25 to him. Or what if in our community we had that older woman who wasn't doing anything and we brought all our children to her and took care of all her needs? It didn't matter if we came a little late. She ain't got nothing to worry about. Her roof is fixed. Her lawn is taken care of and cut. Her fridge is full. Her mortgage is paid if she has one. And as we have resources, we share them. But see, we can't do that with every Negro, because Negroes don't understand that. When you help them, they'll be down with it, but when it's time to reciprocate, they're gone. Who out here is really down to be family to the core? Because all of our DNA traces back to the same. We've mixed and spread, yes. We've dealt with those who we shouldn't deal with. Some of it was by force. It's obvious with me. I know some of my history on my mother's side. Confederate people and Klansmen, some of them, had lots of money in Virginia. What am I going to do, beat myself up? I hate you, I hate you. The white part starts coming out and then I'm beating it back. No, I'm a black man. But what happens if we really treated ourselves as family? Say we lived in one apartment complex. Just say that, just to make it a physical thing. 6 stories in the apartment complex. Let's just say 10 apartments on each floor. 60 apartments. We get the best Wi-Fi and we all can use it. We have one laundromat in that downstairs. We have a gym down there. We have this, we have that. The community center, where we all have and keep our resources on a mass level. We have a huge satellite dish. We can get anything we want righteously, not that trash. Have all the amenities. We have a mechanic, just like a super that takes care of all the apartments. We have a resident mechanic that is there 24/7 for us. And we all take a little bit of our earnings and make sure that if there's nothing wrong with the vehicles, he can kick back because we got somebody that we don't have to all of a sudden dig in our pockets and pay because he's well paid anyway. What's that thing, Legal Shield, where you all collectively pay and you keep lawyers on retainer so when you do need them, you don't have to pay anything? Let's do that with our resources, but they don't want that. They want us against each other. I'm yellow, you're dark, I'm from the north, you're from the south, I'm educated, you're dumb. You're from the Caribbean, I'm from New York, you're from Africa, I'm from the UK. And they keep these divisions going mentally, and they love it. Look at the most powerful people on the planet, the original caretakers of the earth, the closest thing to God's. And we have them divided and diluted. You make the perfect lemonade. You make the perfect iced tea, and somebody comes along and don't like the flavor you made, and they pour a whole thing of water in there. Oh, it's good for me now, and take a little bit of drink out of it. You come back and it's watered down. They have us watered down. How's it look if America goes to war with another country that has black people in it, and you got black folks firing at each other? What kind of mess is that? And you go for that. I'm from America. You're not American. We're bigger than America. The world is planet Africa. We're from that. Africa is not just Africa. The North Pole is Africa. The South Pole is Africa. China's Africa. They just inhabit that land. They trying to push us out of Africa now. So what is it? Not Africa no more? This whole planet is ours. These people are dealing in stolen goods and want to make us be stupid and give up the rest of what we have. We can't even have no dignity and have this part of the earth. They want to have everything. We must have that. Let that resonate in your head tomorrow all day long, like that man who wanted to get his DNA in the eggs of those black women so they can make a super race of the super sexy white women, which doesn't exist, but they want to make that. They want to have some of that. Some of that. And that goes in everything we have. The white woman feels entitled, especially back in slave days. She see them guys hung down to the knee. They wanted some of that. And if they got caught, to keep their dignity and integrity, he raped me. Sure. How long did it last? He just got in the room 15 minutes ago, but the sheets are stained up with all kind of pum Caucasian juice. Come on. Please. Who you think you're talking to? You hate us for what we have physically. You hate us for what we have mentally. Even if we're not in your schools of indoctrination and propaganda, you can leave us up in the mountains, up in the fields, and we just naturally figure things out. The construction here in the motherland where I am and other countries are superior to anything that you will see in America. Superior. If you only knew. I'm not going to show every aspect of what I'm doing because there are people who will hate hard and come up with all kind of things. They will try. I don't want to be annoyed because I will steamroll them. But you believe me, I see it with my own eyes. How you're taking nature's materials and making something so strong that will last. These homes out here, as they're built, ain't no hurricanes coming around here. We over here throwing hurricanes at y'all over in America. And I mean, I say y'all, I don't mean my black brothers and sisters. I'm talking to them white folks. It's a shame that I had to endure those when I lived in Florida, but I understood. I said, yeah, come on, hurricane. Bust it all up. Because I know what it was all about on a spiritual level. See? But now that I'm on this side, I want you to come on this side and still have your dealings over there. But for them, the devil's there, let it wreck their world up. If I was a hurricane, if you ever hear a hurricane coming to my Hurricane Lance, the day I transition, that next hurricane season, I bet you it's going to be a Hurricane Lance, and it'll be a Category 7. It'll be selective. If you black, don't even board up your homes. Kick back and enjoy. I'll peek, okay, that's a brother, that's a sister. I'm going to leave you alone. I'm going to go in and get it. Be afraid. Make sure I stay alive a long time. If you live on the coast and I transition, sell your property quick because Hurricane Lance is coming and the property value is not going to be worth anything because I'm going to level all of their world. Hurricane LANCESCURV. Hurricane SCURV is already in 160 miles winds and it's nowhere near landfall. This is going to be, I'm going to go all up in them areas. I'm going to hit the White House hard. I'm going to go all up the coast, double back, like them hurricanes back with 2004. There are 3 of them just kept circulating. I'm going to sit there and take a dump on some of these places. Nothing you can do to get away from it. Even if you go underground, I'm going to get you. Hit them bunkers. Force of nature. That's right, Ebola. Never give them cookies up. Your cookies are too sweet, too delicious. All you sisters here, and I don't mean just the cookies between your legs, your essence, your life force. I love it. Look at them old black exploitation movies, old black movies from before that period. Even those of us who are from different generations, we see our essence. We got this thing, they're fascinated with it. Slipping up from the other parts of the city to come down to the Harlem and be at the Cotton Club and just look at this black excellence. And these white women trying to slip off with the black men and the white men trying to get near the sisters because we want that thing. We've got to have that. That's their motto because they're parasites. Like that mosquito in here that's just, he know I'm getting ready to go in soon. He buzzes. Yeah, we happy. You've been talking. We waiting for you. You got sweat on you. You got all the nutrition in your body. We're going to bite you up like all you can eat buffet. No, you're not. Mosquito in here talking about, yeah, we want some of that. You ain't going to get it. You ain't going to get it. Because our currency and our charge will burn your wires out. You think you want it. When you get some of this, you'll be burnt for the rest of your life. We're not even in the same league that when we vibrated our highest. You're fascinated, but you can't do nothing with us. That's right. I got a lot of juice left in my fruit. I have 60 next year, piece of cake. 70, easy work. 80, bring it on. Like I said before, I'm so close to 60. If I move the wrong way, 60 gets pregnant. I'll be telling that same old corny joke when I'm 99. If I am blessed to have that, meaning that if I didn't complete my mission, I think I'm going to slow down on completing missions, right? So I can stretch the time out a little more. Life is good. Yeah, that's true, Annie Tubb. What you said, that's why some women look like the life been sucked out of them, and men. Seriously. We will wrinkle a little bit. I'm not saying a lot, some more than less. We will get gray hair. I have a lot of gray hair. I didn't shave my hair because of the gray. I shaved my hair when I had a full head of hair and there was no gray in there. I'm not doing this. I just like getting up and just being able to just jump in. Oh, I got to go to the barbershop. No, I don't want to be bothered with that. I like to be very efficient with my time. And it saves me money because I always used to keep my hair perfect. You gotta have a sharp line here and a sharp line there. It was taking me over. But listen, everyone, let me see the time. Yeah, we've been on for 2 hours and 42 minutes. I'd love to stretch it to a 3-hour show, but I'm gonna turn in because right now it's 2:27. I'm still amped. And I gotta get a little nutrition inside of me. Not a lot, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, baby. But I promise I'll be back tomorrow night. I promised last night I was coming. We're going to do these things. And I don't really want to. I always said 10 o'clock my time, 6 o'clock your time, but I push it back a little more. I'll change that. But I want to be a little flexible just in case what's going on in my day. But the later the time for me, but not too late, the more it's easy for me because I'm in a zone and everything is done. You know, but I love these shows. I love this style. I love my family here, you know, and just we go in with surgical precision and we just kick it. We tell some jokes. We talk some truth. We get abstract. We get whatever. But anything I do, I want to be able to show you the visuals. And again, I'm going to take that link for those who just got here. Well, you're hearing it again. I'm not going to play it.
Which takes the egg of the young, fervent woman.
Okay, let me jump on that. You'll be able to hear it yourself. We'll here we go. Paste. Here it is. Yeah, y'all hold on to that and check that out. We've got to get some of that. Trying to make it all like they happy and nice about it. No, they don't want to just ask you for it. Damn it, we're going to take it. Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead. You know? Thank you, Midnight Green. This is flowing. There's no pressure on me. I'm with my family here, and I love it. It's a beautiful thing. I'm very relaxed. It's not like I'm sitting up here all spready going, today on the LANCESCURV show, No. I said I'm going to be more me and more relaxed. We're going to vibe on a real level. not any representative. Not that I've ever done that before. Never. But I'm going to really get low and get some traction. You know when you see those sports cars, right? You don't see no UPS truck sports car, no FedEx truck sports car high up. The wind blows and it's no. When you want traction on the road, look at the physics in this thing. It should tell you how to move on a spiritual level, because many physical things will teach you things on a spiritual level. Many things in nature will give you a spiritual lesson. You're at I was behind a UPS truck one time, and I was on the Verrazano Narrows Bridge going from Brooklyn into Staten Island. I think I was going to hit Jersey and I was going to head on down to Pennsylvania. And there was a storm coming that I didn't anticipate. And this UPS truck was driving all sideways and the wind was blowing. I'm like, yo, I'm keeping him in front of me. The minute you try to get past her, here they come on. No, I'm backing up. But I noticed the high center of gravity and catching all the wind. But then this other sports car, could have been a Corvette, could have been a Lamborghini, zoom, it was low. Tires spread out, tires thick, grounded. What are we grounded in? A lot of us are grounded in nothing. We're not close to the ground. I don't mean think lowly of yourself, but when you're close and you're grounded really good, you cannot fall because you're there grounded. The UPS truck is all high. It is not wide in its stance, so narrow. It's like this. It can teeter-totter and fall. And so many of us who are up and into everybody's business, well, we get mad when people start talking about us because they see us digging in other people's business, indulging in this thing called gossip. But when you go to the job and you keep yourself out of view, keep yourself grounded, get your job done or your own business done, and you're grounded, you can't fall. You ain't up there telling about, oh, I saw Mary Lou, her car was parked over by so-and-so's house, and we know his wife is gone. What are they doing? Well, it's just a matter of time before people start looking at you as a target to come bring the same energy back to you. You keep yourself grounded like that sports car. You don't have to worry about the wind, because the winds of gossip and innuendo and insinuation go right over your head, and you don't miss a beat. Because you don't have to deal with those winds, defending it and bringing it and playing games with stuff that's really irrelevant to you. Now, of course, if something's going down that can affect your homegirl or your homeboy, I'm saying homegirl, I'm not saying your boys, whatever, I'm just saying it for effect. Your loved ones. You're going to be on the phone and say, hey, be careful. I heard so-and-so, because this is a deadly situation. This is not just hearsay. That's not gossip. That's looking out for the people that you love, in your crew, in your posse, in your circle. You're supposed to. When you just start bringing stuff to bring stuff, and you all in people's business, that means when you're the gossip and you're bringing me gossip, you're going to bring something about me to somebody else. And if you have to make something up, you're going to do it. I don't care if you live across town and you're a gossip. I don't care if you live next door and you a gossip. You might as well live across town, because you dead to me. You ain't going to bring that to me. You done messed up thinking we going to hitch up and we going to exchange and I'll be able to get the knowledge and the gossip. No. You done messed up. Care where you are, who you are, whatever. Once I know what you are, and there's so many other ways of being destructive as a human being, whether you are H-U-M-A-N or H-U-E-M-A-N. Some of y'all act so bad, you deserve to lose the E in the hue of human, because now you acting like a person who don't have the E in human. See? You lose that. You just the H-U. I'm an H-U-E. You want to keep on being the H-U-E, you act like one. And understand that you're connected to others who are like you righteously. But as soon as you take yourself out of that vibe, it ain't no lifetime thing that you born with this and you keep this. No. We got to check that credit every year. We got to make sure you're up to standard. When you have a mechanic shop, they have to make sure the state and the city that they're up to par with their machinery, that it gives the proper readings back so that you don't put cars on the road that are not safe. Now, of course, there's things under the table. You know, in New York City, when you get your inspection, and you know your car's jacked up and they take another car and run that thing under there, oh, you pass. They're not really doing you a service. They're doing you a disservice. So as long as you walk the straight and narrow and do what you have to do righteously, nobody has to tell you. You should know the difference between right and wrong. You'll be okay. Anyway, I'm gonna get ready to run. And yeah, you know you've been going hard when folks are saying so long, I gotta go to sleep. And you the host still up here talking. That means that, you know, you got a good meal. You know, it's always nice to leave the restaurant before the restaurant closes because you're full, they're still cooking. Like, wow, I got a good meal that time. You know, so I did my job. Yes. Okay, Queen Moran, I just looked at it, yeah. I'll probably respond tomorrow. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna look over a lot of the messages that came my way tonight. And we'll just, look over certain things and touch certain things up for 5 minutes after the show's over. And I'm going, oh. But I'm gonna lay there for a while. But I gotta trick this one mosquito because I don't have any of the natural repellent that I have. See, this is what I do. I don't think the mosquito speaks any one of our languages, right? We got the light on here. I got the light off in the bedroom, right? What I'll do is cut the light on in this bathroom way over on that side and leave the door cracked. Then I'll cut all the lights out in here and do what I'm doing on the computer for a few minutes. And when I'm ready, I get up and I run in the back, close the door, because the mosquito's gonna be attracted to that light over there, as of any flying little insects that may be here, which are not much. So I'll leave that light on all night and he'll be, he tricked me. Got to learn how to work along with nature. Anyway, everybody, I am going to sign off now. I want to set this thing up here. And we're going to have a good night. I know y'all going to have some like good dreams, some strange dreams, because we done went deep on a psychological level. And yeah, some of y'all going to have some crazy dreams. But I will be back tomorrow. Same time, maybe a little earlier. I'm not sure, but before, I can't say before the day's over, because for me, I'm going to make sure it's before midnight. But midnight for me is 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, PM. So it's going to be 11, 11:15, 11:30, 11:45, the latest 11:45. We'll pick a good topic. It's going to come to me, but we'll still be able to go and touch every single other little thing. We're not just going to be all rigid like that. And anytime you want to join in and call in or whatever, I have the link. I'll drop it. You come in for a few minutes and speak your mind. Whenever that goes for every show, you know. And again, I'm going to drop that link. I'm not trying to play it, but one more time for those who, oh, you're welcome, Oyala. Anytime. Much love to you always. Ren H. Annie Tubb 3. Darius from Atlanta. Sunkiss. Now, if I scroll up the chat room, we'll be doing another 3-hour show, and you'll wake up and you'll see the top of my head, the top of my sweaty head. So keep marching forward and be unapologetically Black, uncompromised, and uncensored in what we say. I don't care who doesn't like it. I don't think I know everything, but I'm going to express everything that I have. If I got $1 million in my pocket, or if I got a little ball of lint, whatever's there, I'm going to drop it. I'm going to share it. That's the way I feel. Live life to the fullest, 100%, but understand that every day, if you give 100%, it may not be the same 100% for the day before, because one day you're 100%, one day you're 80%. Don't be mad because you're 80%, because you're living life. Things happen unexpected. Give 100% of that 80%, but always make sure to recuperate and get your rest. Always make sure to have yourself to yourself before you start your day, even if it's 15 minutes or 2 hours. If you want to get up early, have yourself to yourself, know yourself, learn yourself, pamper yourself, cater to yourself, and don't let this wicked world take you away from knowing yourself. That's the secret. You are your best friend. Yeah, we have best friends, But you were born, you were there. You transition, you're going to be there. And all in between, you're going to be there. You know all of your secrets, and you know all of the public things that you know and do and have done. And in between, you know more about you than anybody else does. The only one who knows more about you is the one who created you. But other than that, it's you. So treat yourself nice. Don't come down too hard on yourself. Work with yourself. Understand that the past cannot be changed. It can't be changed. If you go back, if you look back, you go back. Like that big rudder on the back of the ship, the big little thing in the middle. It represents your past. You can't touch it. It's under there. But when you go back to your past and meditate on it, it helps to guide you. That's why that rudder can turn a little bit. Because if you want to go left, it goes like this, and then you go left. If you want to go right, it turns a little bit this way, and it happens to help guide you. Your past should guide you. You should not be emotionally connected to your past where it stops you from doing great things in the future. And don't let anybody talk about your past or hold you in a spot like you can't accomplish anything that you want to do right now in the present. Your new day is just as important and fresh as a new day of someone else. It's a clean slate. But like the artist who can see something on that clear paper that others can't see, don't let others in a negative way make you see your past and the things that you have misjudged on the paper of your future, thinking that all you can do is repeat mistakes. But it's not a mistake. It's an experience that helps you to learn to make you better because you've been there, done that. Have you been there and done that? Well, you can't speak on it. So if you're speaking on it to bring me down, understand you're speaking on it and it's boosted me up because I had that experience and I don't have to go back there anymore. You might slip and go back there or go there because you don't know what to avoid. I've been there and I'm here now. That's more of a testimony of my greatness. That's what you have to say to them. Yeah, and if you prostitute a little bit, you made a decision to do it. We don't know why. But don't let nobody who paid for you to perform acts try to act condescending on you. What do you mean? You paid me. Yeah, I did that and I don't do it no more. But you still tricking. And you didn't really have me. It was friction because you don't know me. You might have did time for stealing something. You might have did some. Only thing I don't really get down with is the pedophiles and those who rob little old ladies or whatever. Do that stuff. No, you know what you did. You didn't go to the family cookout and say, I'm going to screw little Johnny right now. I'm going to go, let's let everybody know. No, you snuck and did it. So you know what you were doing. But those of us who are Black people who are in circumstances where we have to do something for survival, and later on we regret it or we do time for it, and we don't nobody put that off mess up on you. Because the public may know what you did in that instant, but what about the things that people did that nobody knew, but they walk around all self-righteous looking down at you? Working hard on the icing, on the cake. But remember, they may not be cake. They might be a pile of shit. Like I say, you have the right to smear chocolate icing on a pile of shit, but you don't have the right to lie to anybody and say that it's chocolate cake. Because if you do, I'm going to make you take the first bite because you know it's not cake and you ain't going to want to take a bite. So don't try to deceive anybody because you won't deceive me. And as soon as I see what you are, I'm going to call you out. I'm in the old man phase right now. I can wear striped pants and polka dot shirts and skips, those no-name brand sneakers, and be cool. Rock my little hat to the side, sit the cookout. Your homeboy dressed corny, man, but he talking some real stuff. We like you, Grandpa. I don't have no pressure on me. I don't have to have the newest car now. I ain't got to have the dope hairstyle. I just take a razor and I'm cool with what's in my head. I'm free. Like a promiscuous woman that just got into menopause. I can do it all day long and not worry about getting pregnant. I'm talking stupid. That's like I would go to work with my father. You know, I was in school, so I couldn't do it during the week or during the school week, on the weekend sometime. You know, he had his jobs. My mother did what she did on the weekend. They were together, but I had to choose that they both had activities, which one I was going to go with. So I love going with my father because I got a chance to go all through Manhattan, all through the city, from young and see all the different people in Harlem, Washington Heights, Lower Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan on jobs, poor folks, millionaires, all kind of people. That's what kind of helped me to be the person I am, because of the vast experiences and the vast characters that have imprinted my personality, imitating these people, seeing them from young, goofing on them from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, and being comfortable in my skin and accepting these beautiful Black people who have fed into me. Even if I don't remember their name, they imprinted stuff in me. They told me things. They knew I was really listening. You know what I mean? But it's something when you think back on those times and what made you, and you think back. But there were times when we would come home late, because my father, if it was like 12 or 1 o'clock, and we had 3 hours worth of work to do, I say I might have been 7 years old, right? So I wasn't doing nothing. I might do a little something, but he was getting the work done. We get in late, and we would always maybe eat a little something, you know? And when it would get late, I would just get the giggles. I don't know why. It's almost like it's hitting me now. Like I'm getting back into not a childhood state where I'm getting to the limited knowledge of a child, but they say once a man, twice a child. I'm getting jolly more than anything else. I'm still fiery. I'm still pissed off at racism and sexism and the classism and stuff. I'm always do that. But within myself, I'm a jolly guy, right? So we'll be sitting there, and you know, we got something that we may have done a small job at a restaurant earlier, maintaining the floors, and a big job later on. But we got this food. He warms it up, and I'm eating, and I look at him, and he looks at me, and I start cracking up. I mean, I can't even eat. I'm cracking up so much. So my father never called me stupid, but it was a term he would say, "Lancey, you're getting stupid now. I see you getting stupid now." And I would crack up when he would say that. And he would start laughing. And I would start laughing. And I would tell jokes, and I would have my father cracking up, because I used to imitate people that we run across. And I'm young. I'm 7, 8 years old. Daddy, remember the guy in the restaurant next door, how he used to fry the food, and, you know, he'd be there. It's a certain way he held his mouth. And my father would crack up. And I would say, yeah, anytime the nice shaped women walk by, he burning people food because he's forgetting what's on the skillet, and he's looking down to say whatever. And he was like, he'd ask me, he'd beg me, please. And I was shy, like, you gonna make me imitate him? It's a grown man. He may not like me no more. And I would do it, and the whole shop would crack up. You know what I mean? So my own little brand of comedy, you know, it was always appreciated. But I was always that one to be a sponge and pick up on something. So even as I got older and kept my face serious and whatnot, I was always cracking up on the inside. I really love life, and I love Black people. I love Black people. Some of them piss me off, but I love the majority of my Black people. My African people, I love y'all. Y'all made me to what I am today. All the experiences from young growing up, and all the different characters and energies. And even though some of us had rough lives, and you could see the emotional scars, you couldn't physically see them, but you could see it in their energy field, right? And you could still see the beauty of them shining through. See, them other people, they get old and encrusted and they die. They ain't nothing shining through. They just get all, they just cranky. But even us, when left alone amongst each other, and we're comfortable, the sadness could be there, the trials and tribulations we could see on us, but we always will have a beautiful moment. And I'll say all my life with Black people, I've had those beautiful moments, and I want those times to come back. That's why I do the shows that I do, to share a little bit of that, right? Because those people have shared stuff with me, and I don't know all of their names. I remember all the faces. I remember all the circumstances. And as a little boy, I loved all of them. I saw the beauty in all of them. And I hate what is happening now with our people and the manipulation and the attacks on us. I hate it. They say, don't say hate. No, I hate it. Because the beauty of us that I saw in single-digit ages in the late 60s and 70s and 80s, and it's dissipating in the 90s, 2000s, it's going, messing with us, it's turning the men and the women and the men, doing things in our food, shooting signals in the air, getting stuff in our veins, putting this stuff on social media and turning us against each other. I hate what we are becoming. And then they want to turn around after all they've done to us. I'm not crying like a victim, but it's not a fair fight. You're like you're in the boxing ring with the invisible man. Where is it? You're getting hit. How do I know what to hit back? They're doing undermining things a little here, a little there in all areas and creating us into be these Frankenstein monsters. We're not monsters. We're not grotesque. We're not ugly. We're not twisted. We're not perverse, but you got us all tangled up in your web of decadence. Now you want to stand over this. We're superior. No, you're not, damn it. You're the recessive. Because you don't want us to be who we are, because you'll feel your, can I make up a word? Recessiveness even more. And even still, you have us twisted up. You still recessive, damn it. Because the minute you leave us alone, we start to regenerate. It's just like that picture that I saw after the nuclear bomb was dropped. And it was a picture of a sidewalk, and a crack in the sidewalk had a little greenery growing up. That was a sign of hope that no matter how much happened to us, we're always going to come back. No matter how bleak it is, we're always going to come back. And the more you leave us alone and we stay away from you, we come back strong. And we're going to be here after you're gone, Mr. Recessive and Mrs. Recessive. You can split eggs and put your DNA here and there. You're still going. Your time is up. If we are not gone yet or now, after all you've done, we ain't going nowhere. You're doing this to us. And I'm out here in the motherland. These young girls are getting pregnant and they're happy. And they just, boom, just dropping them. And you got to go to fertility clinics and take artificial things to have children that come out to be mass murderers and shooters and twisted people, don't want to be who they are. Whatever they got between their legs, want to be something else. Mommy, I'm 6 years old and I don't want to be a boy. That's your problem. You'll deal with that. You do wrong by us. All this stuff on a cosmic level has come back to you. It's just like the little kids used to say, whatever you do to me, it's going to bounce off of me and it's going to go back to you. Like in the cartoons, they shoot a ray gun now, and you hold up a mirror and it bounces back. Now, you know, if you have some kind of ray, ain't no mirror going to stop it. But that's the point mentally we have to think. If we're dominant, how could a recessive do this to us? But we're not dominant. We're in the wrong state of mind, right? I got this Space Ghost thing going. Man, I was supposed to go a long time ago. Y'all got me talking. Okay, let's see how that looks. Don't matter because I'm leaving anyway, right? Anyway, y'all, let me run. I passed the 3-hour mark. I thought it was going to be on for an hour. I don't know what I talked about. I just flowed. I'm glad you're here. I'm not leaving. I'm just laying down. I'm always here. I'm always accessible. You can call me anytime. Sometime this phone is messing up, but tomorrow I'm going to answer back a lot of calls that I missed. All right. So let me run. I'm going to play a little music if it does play this time, because yesterday we tried to play this, Brand. I had to go to my module. I didn't cut out like that. The camera just blinked on me. So I think it is time that I go, if you can still hear me. All right. So anyway, I wouldn't just leave you abruptly like that. But let me go before it cuts off on me again. All right. You all have a wonderful night. I know that I love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.
Technology.
I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm tryna do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes sir. I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Can't be a real, might get you canceled. The whole system need to dismantle. Coppers treated like the utmost wanted. Trying to rule the block, but don't know what goes on. News got a story with a new take on me. Carrying out the window with the screw face on me. But I know that God love me when my burn. 95 degrees and I can't get sunburn. Wonder when your government will make me legal. Burn the whole city if I can't be equal. Get off my please, Brad, I earn that. 400 years, how you still ain't learned? I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm tryna do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes sir. I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Shout out to the trying to gentrify the genre. Tell them free my middle finger to your honor. In the days coming down the seconds on the timer. Goofy still trying to purchase that designer. About to buy, learn to grow my own food. Cause I don't like the look they give me in the Whole Foods. And when you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. But it ain't on me now, I'm limping cause my heavy. But ain't sweet, think we thin. My whole attitude on MC Ren. It's my neighborhood now, Bob, I bought that. 400 years, how you still ain't caught that? I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm tryna do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes sir. I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real.
Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition? Stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion. Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us is nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history, which rewards all research and tells us plainly that before the white man gained entry to the East, he was living in the caves of Europe, a ravenous beast, eating juniper roots and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then following Marco Polo, an explorer, he gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China, he took silk and gunpowder. From India, he took jute, manganese, and rubber. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. From the Mideast, he took barrels of oil untold, raping, robbing, and murdering everything in his path. The whole black world has tasted of the white man's wrath. So, my friend, it's not hard to tell. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. Before we came to America, we were living in the East. By the Nile River, we were living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes, slippers of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. When the white man came to America, he told the Indian, I am your white brother. He said, red man, I'll treat you the best. Yet and still he pushed the Indian further west with his white woman and fire water. Tricks and lies, he stole America. The original owner of this nation is cooped up on a reservation. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. He needed someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man, so he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise, on his body put a price. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is a black man hell.